Alright, listen. The thoughts and opinions expressed on the Stay Down LA podcast belong to me, K Stacks to P, and maybe wherever else got the nerve to pull up. This ain't for the overly sensitive, overly serious, or anybody looking to be offended on purpose. If you're mad, you might want to log off now. For everybody else, welcome to the Stay Down LA podcast. Let's talk our shit. What up? It's your boy K Stacks to P, and welcome back to another podcast episode. I know y'all see what I got on. For the listeners, y'all not gonna see what I got on, but man, that boy is an official Cal State LA graduate. Dead homies. It is post graduation. Look what's on my neck, nigga. What's on my neck, nigga? I got a motherfucking medal, nigga, that says Psi Chi, the International Honor Society in Psychology. So now I'm in the International Honor Society. I'm in the Honor Society Club, sir. It's so funny. The homies keep making fun of me for making random outbursts, but it's like, you guys just wouldn't get it. And on top of that, I got the regalia to go. So I got the Psi Chi regalia, you feel me? Right here. You feel me? I got the cords that come with it too, and on the cord it got some cool ass thing too. So I definitely will say the Psi Chi member society does not play about their members. They definitely have me feeling very welcomed. You know what's crazy? I was just talking to Tiani. I was looking at her I guess you could say her emblem for lawyering, or for being in law. And I'm looking at mine and I'm like, is this our symbol? It's like it kind of looks like their thing, but like the little trident, like the thing that what's his name, Aquaman has, the trident thing. That's what the thing kind of looks like for psychology. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get introduced in today's episode. Let's get on to the topics and not waste any more time, you feel me? Today is Friday. It is currently in the morning right now. Do I need to say today's date? I guess I can. Doesn't really matter. Today's the 22nd of May. Is also the day that they're going to turn in our grades for my school. So technically speaking, today or this week is the last week of this semester. So the spring semester should be finishing up by the end of this week. But like I said, this is episode 46. Episode 46 of the Stay Down LA podcast. As you guys know, I drop every episode each week. So if this is episode 46, that means this is the 46th week that we've been going, consistent and strong with the podcast episode. This is brought to you by I realized I've been doing a disservice, not necessarily a disservice, but I think I've been messing it up. We're getting confused with how to say the Stay Down LA. I realize now it's really called the Stay Down Network. So my brand is the Stay Down Network, like Cartoon Network, Stay Down Network, Stay Down LA Network, whatever you want to call it. And then under it is Stay Down LA, Stay Down Fitness. It's like Cartoon Network and then having all the other websites attached to it. So it's Stay Down Network and then Stay Down LA, Stay Down LA Fitness. You feel me? Or yeah, keep it simple. Stay Down LA Network. You feel me? That'd be the best thing. But yes, that is my brand. Just something I came up with to represent the idea of staying down, the idea of being patient, of knowing that you might not see results the next day, but being patient for the results to come and keep working hard at it because you know that it's on the way. So that's what Stay Down LA, Stay Down Network is about. Who am I? My name is K Stacks to P, aka K Stacks, aka Deuce, aka Hit Your Deuce, whatever you want to call it. I'm an entertainer, content creator, shit talker, money maker, hustler, bitch taker, MILF hitter, like I wear a lot of hats, have a lot of, have a lot of roles that I fill in, you know what I mean? And if you leave your girl next to me, then she might also be a role that I'll fill in, you know what I mean? But that's that. Of course, big shout out to my grandma, my auntie Bosse, Latif's mom, Latif, Khalila, and Elliot. And of course, now that I've got the little intros, we have to start the episode with an introductory prayer. If you guys did not know, I am Muslim, not the fake kind, the real kind, you know what I'm saying, not the sneako kind, not the kind of Muslim that, I'm not going to say nothing was wrong with that, because if you're in jail, you got to do what you got to do, but definitely not the sneako kind of Muslim, you feel me, the real kind of Muslim. But without further ado, let's get the prayer done. We'll say blessed to the Jim Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, ihdinas siratal mustaqim, siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim, ghayril maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Amen. Allah, I want to say thank you so much for waking me up today. Allah, I want to say thank you so much for another opportunity today. Allah, I want to say thank you so much for another opportunity to record a podcast episode. I want to say thank you so much for allowing me to have a podcast. I want to say thank you so much for allowing me to have an audience, for allowing me to have a platform, for allowing me to have individual thinking, to be individual, to have my own personality, have my own mindset, to be able to think for myself. I'm so grateful for the ability and the freedom that you have allowed me and that you have granted me. I do not take it for granted, and I appreciate every moment of it. As that you continue to protect me and my family, me and those that I love, me and those that I don't mention by name, but you know that are within my heart. Because you know how this family stuff goes. Sometimes you might not be able to be in the presence of someone, but I know with me, just because you're out of mind and out of sight does not mean I don't care about you. It just might be a position where, you know, we just have our own lives going on. So for those that fall into that category within my life, I just ask that you continue to guide over them, protect them, and to pass on these blessings and prayers onto them, as well as I still love and care about them. As far as my angels, I just ask that you guys continue to watch over me, guide me, protect me, allow me to be the head and not the tail, allow me to be able to have my own personality, have my own mindset, have my own thoughts, be able to think for myself, fend for myself, and be able to provide for myself, and provide for my family, and provide for everyone that I need to and take care of. And overall, continue to just allow me to be in a position where I could, you know, just be able to live a fruitful and free life that I know that I deserve, and that I know that Allah will allow me to live, and that I, like once again said, will be passed on to the people that are near me and that are around me that I also care about. Inshallah, mashallah, Allah, thank you for allowing me to be all these things and more, and allow me to continue to grow. Ameen. So, now, with episode 46, of course, gotta definitely start off with the elephant in the room, which is, you know, your boy graduated. So, that for sure is the, I guess you could say, the overarching theme of today's episode is that, you know, I guess you can say I kind of knew it was going to happen, but you might be wondering, what am I talking about here? I'm talking about the sense of, you know, how would I say? Because sometimes, like I said, I think to myself, like, okay, do I want to give all the background or just get straight to it? I guess getting straight to it, you know, long story short, hold on. You could stream directly to Patreon. That's cool. Stream directly to Patreon? That would definitely take a lot of complication out of the process. But pretty much, you know, I was so, you know, at the beginning of the semester, man, January, before the semester started, I remember I was telling myself, I said, man, everything's gonna be different. Everything's gonna hit different once I graduate. And you know, I graduated on Monday, and I ain't gonna lie. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I gotta be honest. I really want to be honest. Like, I've been really trying to just be honest with myself about things. Well, I guess that's what I'm saying. It kind of got to fall into the daily recap. But in the sense of, like, did I feel like a relief? No, not yet. I haven't felt that sense of, like, like I could breathe. Like, I guess you could say I felt that sense once I stopped having to go in person. But, like, now that it's officially over, it's nothing really that, like, hit or nothing that really, like, you know, did nothing for me. Like, I kind of was like, okay, ready to get back to the normal life, ready to get back to the normal routine, or ready to just get back to it, you know what I'm saying? But, like I said, last week's episode actually recorded on Friday, too, and it's coincidence I'm doing it today on Friday. differences, I'm recording this one a lot earlier, a lot sooner, so it's not gonna be as complicated as last week's episode where it was like in the middle of the day of Friday. This time around, I'm gonna get it done early. I might go to the gym after this because try to go to the gym 3 times a week. So far this week I've been doing it 2 times, but we'll get into that. And then of course the movie we're gonna be talking about today is God Is. I got like one thing from Instagram. I got a couple things from Twitter. Nothing too crazy as far as the media standpoint. It has definitely still been Drake Iceman week, if that's what you want to call it. Not if that's what you want to call it. That's the best thing to call it. Just keep it in a bean. Drake has definitely he's been the most talked about thing right now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. He definitely has he's got the attention back on him. And when we get into that, it's just gonna be more what I've been saying, what me and Devin been saying, because that's one thing I will say. Me and my nigga Devin, like, that's my nigga. So we've been saying this from the start. Like, all he had to do was keep dropping music, because according to Ack, you know what I'm saying, of course I'm not gonna try to sit here and say that Ack is like the telltale sign or like the spokesperson for him, but Ack feels as though that everyone that in a sense wanted a specific theme from Drake, like, or that was complaining about his last projects, he's convinced that Drake has doubled down, and he's like, nah, he feels that everybody's conceded in the sense that, like, okay, everybody wanted Drake to make more mature music. He's doubling down and making more mature music. Everybody wanted Drake to stop, well, not everybody, but Joe Budden in particular was like, stop fucking 25-year-olds. He's gonna still fucking 25-year-olds. Stop talking about him. And I thought that was interesting. I thought it was interesting in the sense of, maybe, I don't want to say that Drake isn't doing what people said, but I think his focus is just a little different. From what I hear, and then like I said, this is me biased to Drake and biased to Kendrick, the battle definitely affected my nigga. The battle, and then that's what I'm saying. If I don't want to say it affected him, it definitely lives rent-free, or it lived rent-free in his head, rent-free. I don't know why I'm like slurring my words, but it definitely lived rent-free in his head at a point, because I just feel like there's certain points in the songs, or there's certain points in this album. Like I said, I haven't heard the whole album, haven't heard all 3 of them, you know what I'm saying? But it's just very clear that, well, and which in that regard though, I must say I respect and appreciate, because I'd much rather Drake acknowledge or talk about what happened during the battle in his music than to just come out and like just be like just talking on a podcast or talking in an interview, because like I said, people just misconstrued everything. And in my opinion, as a musician myself, I feel as though the best way to articulate yourself is through your craft rather than conversational wise, because sometimes it gets lost in translation, it gets lost in conversation, and a lot of times people only can meet you at where they can meet themselves. And I'm sure a nigga like Drake, who's at his stage in life, in his position, he probably does not meet a lot of people that, like, that's what I'm saying, like, as I get older, as I get wiser, you realize that you kind of gain, and I think it's like you take it either or. I feel like you either gain a sense of patience and understanding, or a sense of impatience and irritability. Like, you either get patient and be like, you know what, I understand everybody can't meet me at the level that I'm at, so I'm gonna be more patient with them. Or you turn the other way, where it's like, I know these niggas can't meet me where I'm at, and that irritates me, and I don't want to deal with people. I'm like a mixture of the two. I don't want to deal with people, but I understand that is because, like, okay, they're not where I'm at, and I understand that I'm not even where I could be at yet. But that's just to give you guys a little scope, or I guess you could say a little bit of where we're at right now with society, or I guess you could say, because not society, so society and social media and art. I feel like there's 3 different levels to it, because if I'm not mistaken, we're still in a government shutdown right now. So society right now, they got whatever they got going on. The media right now is in a chokehold between Chuck the Builder and Drake, and then what goes on in real life. But that's what we got going on today. Today's fresh cone incense is going to be Sex on the Beach. Last week, you know what I'm saying? Well, I only got 2. I don't know what I'm saying last week, and like it It only alters, but we're almost out of the Bob Marley fresh cone instant. So probably when I run out of this one, I'll probably hit the Taj Mahal and like try to get a different one. The Sex on the Beach, I've definitely been fucking with it, but I will say I don't use incense as much as I could. You know, I generally only use them for the podcast episodes now. You know, just to like cleanse the air, cleanse the vibe. You know, get a nice little smell in. And as you guys can see, I don't got no what you call it. I don't got no characters with me. I don't got no figures with me. No figurines. Nothing. Only attributes I got with me is my graduation attributes, which is funny because like I said, I had these last week. All this stuff, I've had this for a minute. I ain't gonna lie. I've had this since at least April, and I could have been wearing it, but now it's like now that I've walked the stage, I could wear it officially, and that's what it is. I've walked the stage now, but and that's what I'm saying. Like I'm trying to tell you guys, live in the moment. Don't do what I did. Don't wait to the end. Don't keep trying to tell yourself when you get to the finish line, then you go to enjoy it. And it's so crazy because I kept telling myself, I said, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. But between me and y'all, I couldn't really get comfortable or really like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, let the weight get off my shoulders till I knew I passed all my classes because like I said, my professor was, man, I'm over here close as hell to the finish line, and now my professor want to start saying that nigga using AI, and I just knew where it could go and where I wanted it to go, and I did not want it to go that area. Look how high my hand is from the heat or from the fire, and I still feel it. I gotta be this high just to not feel no heat, and that's cap because I still feel it. That's so interesting. So heat travels pretty high. So the fire burning goes straight up and then goes out like that. But now we got the incense lit. Now the episode could properly get started. So like I said, I did episode 45 on Friday. So naturally, our daily recap is going to start from Saturday. And starting on Saturday, I woke up late because I went to go see the Is God Is movie, and then I woke up, but I was still able to be on time for another workout. So essentially, the homie, shout out to him on Instagram, the Finesser Mob. He had hit me up on Friday. Doesn't really matter the time, but he had hit me up. Was like, oh, on Saturdays I'm going to be going to the Culver City stairs. If you would like to tag along and stuff, just let me know. And I went to go see Is God Is at the end of my night. And for the most part, you know, if you guys know anything about this channel, I don't like seeing movies late. Sorry. Sorry guys, I'm having a hiccup scare. A hiccup scare is basically when like your breathing gets caught up in its own breathing, and then it tries to. I don't fuck with hiccups at all. That's one thing I would say is a bodily function that kind of annoys me. Let me say irritates me. It doesn't really irritate me per se, but it annoys me because I really don't understand the concept of hiccups. I'm like, are you telling me my body can't catch up with its breathing? Like, what happened? Like, what caused the hiccup? And it's weird. It's like my nose is blocked, but I can't blow it out. You know. Let me try one more time. I'm trying to blow my nose before I really like get into it. I told you guys, ever since I got my surgery, it's like I feel my nose way. It's like I know my nose better. I'll put it like that. So like, if I have a moment where I'm like, okay, I have mucus coming out, pause, like I'm spitting up mucus, or I know I'm like, my nose is running, I feel like I know now, or I'm well versed in my nose now to know like, okay, my nose gotta be blocked. Like there gotta be something like obstructing the airways, because now, hold on. Excuse me. My apologies. Whew. I just feel like now it's easier to tell. Like, okay, like, no, like, my nose gotta be blocked. Because why am I breathing? Like, why am I breathing so hard? Why am I sounding stuffy? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I hit him up. I was like, yeah, you know, unbeknownst to him, what could have happened that Saturday. Because, like I said, in reality, I'm just so used to, saying a lot. Like, I gotta say I'm so used to, or I am adjusted to this routine that I have. The routine I have or had when I was working at Saks off 5th was Monday, gym, 4 a.m. Tuesday, off, gym, 4 a.m. Wednesday, gym, 4 a.m. Thursday, podcast and do a run. Friday, go ride my bike. Saturday, go do a run. So that was my 6-day workout schedule. Basically, we try to get the gym out the way as soon as possible, as early as possible, only 3 times, and then lead the rest of the week. You know, immediately after the gym week, you know, record the podcast and run. But basically, lead the rest of the week to, like, you know, for outdoor activities, aka cardio. Since not working there, you know, and not also shit like, oh, like everything bad happened, but you know, the place closed down. Since being let go from Saks off 5th, I've been attempting. Let me not say that, because like I said, it'll be doing a disservice to myself and my homies if I make it seem like I can't still keep or still achieve that schedule or routine. It's not that I can't achieve it, but you know, more time, more availability, be a little more flexible, and me and the homies, you know, like I said, or at least like I feel like the best thing, or what I've seen in my time of working out, you know, you get more results with a group, you know what I'm saying, with people that have the same passion, determination, consistency. You know, it's easier to go to the gym, at least for me, like I said, it's easier to go to the gym by yourself, you know, when you have that own motivation, but it's a hell of a lot, it helps a hell of a lot more when you have that group, or you have that check and balancing, you know what I'm saying, that pretty much ensures that, like, you're going to be on it too. Like, okay, not only are you making sure you go to the gym for yourself, but the homies are making sure you go to the gym too. That's why I like going in the morning and super early, because, like, even if I didn't feel like going, me forcing myself to be up so early is like, well, there's nothing else I could do at this time. You might as well go to the gym. You might as well go work out. That all that energy, all that motivation would just translate to the rest of the day. So since not working there, I've been working out with the homies, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my nigga Honcho, shout out to my nigga Drewski, shout out to my nigga Biggs, shout out to my nigga Stink, shout out to my nigga K5, you feel me? Shout out to my nigga Doggy, you know what I'm saying? And basically shout out to all the homies, you feel me, in reality, because all the homies that work out, all the homies that don't work out, because all you guys motivate and push me to work out harder and go harder. And shout out to everybody that I follow on Strava too, because you guys motivate the hell out of me. If you guys are wondering, oh, why do I work out? What is Kadu's workout for? I guess you could say 2 parts. My workout for just consistency. Once I reached a certain weight level, a part of me kind of was like, okay, my weight is getting out of hand. I want to kind of control it. So once I started getting a hand over, or a handle over, or grip, you could say, over my weight, and I was able to, like, control it, get it to, you know, get myself to the size that I wanted to. Essentially started trying to, I basically just kept going, right? So once I did that and I seen results in that aspect, I was like, okay, well, let me see if I could see results in the aspects of, like, trying to get muscles, trying to get muscular, trying to get a 6-pack. Once I was able to achieve that, the goal was just to maintain, you know what I mean? Because I knew from the start, I knew from the get-go that I never wanted to be the buffest nigga. I never wanted to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now that I work out more, I definitely do, I guess you could say I am a little envious of the posing. Like, I definitely do take inspiration to the poses. Like, now that I'm getting a little buffer, I definitely do try to, like, you know, pose, make the muscles stick out more. But I've never been, like, super duper crazy on, like, trying to be the most muscular nigga. Like, oh, I need to do protein, I need to eat this, I need to do that. Never been on no type of time like that. So for me, the consistency just always came from just wanting to just be an old nigga that was able to fend for himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and the homie Donovan be joking, like, if you're old and you can't do a squat, that means, you know what I'm saying, you can't you can't wipe your butt when you take a shit when you get old. You know what I'm saying? And I can't do that. That's not the type of shit for me. And that's not the type of lifestyle I want to live in reality. So for me, that was like my motivator and the reason I was able to keep going to the gym. But just being able to go with the homies and stuff and be able to like be with your peoples, that also helps you and stuff. So like once I got out of Saxon Fit, the homies was like, hey, like, why don't you come to the gym with us? You know what I'm saying, for a couple sessions and shit. And just pull down on us. But I was so adjusted to my routine that I kept, I would want to go with them, but then I guess you could say I would, what was the word say? I would get mad at myself for not sticking to my routine, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Not realizing that I should just overall just like, that's what I'm saying, I should just create a new availability for myself, with this availability that I could work out with it. Instead of trying to stick to waking up at 4 a.m. and then going to the gym with these niggas, just move the time that you gotta wake up a little more further back. So that's what I've been doing, and it's been really good. Like I said, it's been really good once I let go of the control, because that was the issue for me. I just wanted to be in such control of my routine, about everything, and because I got to the point where I kept getting frustrated by hiccups or like things that would come up that would affect it. You know what I'm saying? Like even me doing my podcast, on a Friday, doing it later. The homie Drew even said he knows like this kind of hard for me. Like there was a time like not hard for me like hard, but like just a week ago I was really telling niggas like, nah bro, I can't come out on Thursday because of my podcast. But here I am now saying fuck it, let's do I'll do the podcast early in the morning on a Friday type shit. Granted, like I said, the reason I was doing it prior is because I enjoyed it like that. But sometimes it's okay to like switch it up. You feel me? And that's essentially what I'm finding out. So because I had to switch it up, like once again, I was like, fuck it. Let's go do the Culver City stairs on a Saturday. Like normally I would go do a run. Normally I go fuck with the run club, either keep 100 or hold us fit. But I woke up so late that I was like, man, I would be rushing right now to get over there, and I do not really feel like doing all that. So we're not gonna do all that. So I decided, you know what? Hey, woke up, did my morning routine, prayed, brushed my teeth, did my journal, my affirmations, and then I did a mood review. And that's what I've been really trying to do more. Make the TikToks and the videos of the day or the content for the day before I leave the house. I just feel like I just feel like I'm more productive. Or it's not even that. I think I'm productive regardless. I think it's the exhaustion of the workout that like once it starts hitting at me, I be like, okay, ooh, okay, time to go take a nap, time to go rest. That making a TikTok, having to be creative, and it all makes sense because I don't know if I told you guys, I'm pretty sure I told you guys, but essentially to be creative, or let me not say to be creative, like this is the only way you could be creative, but a caveat, or I guess you could say what sometimes I'm telling you guys, I have so much vocabulary in my brain when I have these little brain farts, because I'm thinking of a specific word that I can't seem to remember at the moment. But I guess one of the possibilities when it comes to creating, or not one of the possibilities, but one of the necessities when it comes to creating that like I said, I kind of agree with. This is somebody that just said it, but of course you guys could listen or not listen. That's one thing about my content, or about me ever explaining anything. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying. This is me just expressing it. What is what I go through. If you want to go through it, that is what it is. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. But essentially, they said that to be creative, most creatives, they create out of an abundance of energy. Like you usually could create more when you have extra energy. Like if you're tired, you're sluggish, you're groggy, you're not really rested, you're not gonna be the most creative that you can be. And I've noticed that too. Like when I have a lot of energy, I'm way more inept, or I'm way more interested in like creating, or like I guess you could say like I'm able to put more energy towards the creativeness, Whereas when I'm tired and I'm like, when I'm like kind of not into it, it usually is a rush project. It usually is a lazy execution, I'm usually not even thinking that far outside the box. But when I'm energized and I got my energy, I'm able to make the content that I want. So I was like, you know what, let's make the content, lead to TikTok before I head out. And then I went to the Culver City stairs, got there. First thing I did when I got there, let the brother know I was there, but I was like, I'm not going to waste no time, you know what I'm saying, because the way the Culver City stairs is one large ass stairs that goes up, and then it's a pathway. It's like a mountain, a mountain with the stairs. So, essentially I was like, hey, I might as well just get started. So, I go up the stairs one time, don't see nobody, come back down one time. Go up the stairs another time, see the homie, link up with them, start the program. Their program was they're doing push-ups and jumping jacks, and they're doing it down the road path. So essentially, at this point I've already did 2 times going up, 1 time coming down, and then when I linked up with them, we came down together, but we took the driveway path, and every time we came across a bike sign, share the road sign, the bike lane sign. Every time we came across those, we would do 10 jumping jacks and 10 push-ups, and there was 10 of those signs. So do the math, do that 10 times, that's 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 jumping jacks. So prior to that, already when I went up the second time, I did 50 push-ups over there. I did 2 sets of 25. So that was 50 push-ups right there, 2 times upstairs, 100 push-ups, so that's 150 right there after we did the bike path thing. Then that's 100 jumping jacks, and then like I said, that's us running down the thing. So after that, I ain't gonna lie, they like I said, I'm just starting, so I'm a little more energized than them, but they already been working out, so I'm like, okay, cool. And that's what I appreciate too. Like, well, it's not really them, it's me. It's more so like, I hate telling people I'm gonna pull up somewhere at a certain time, and then, like I said, because I'm just so busy, because of, like I said, just doing shit, adding extra shit to my plate, I hate when I don't show up on time. So I was worried. I was really worried. I was really sick, because that's usually what it is. I feel guilty when I don't go to the things that I set out for myself. So if I say, okay, on Saturday, could do this week, like, for example, right, if I say this week, I want to go to the gym 3 times a week, and I want to go to the gym 2 times, I be feeling so shitty. I be feeling so terrible, and I hate it. It's like body dysmorphia. It's like I'm at a position where, as long as I maintain, I'm going to be good. But I feel like because of the body dysmorphia, because of the self doubt, I have to keep the same tenacity. I have to keep the same energy, the same force, the same momentum that I had when I first started, and I really wanted to lose that weight. That's what I keep convincing myself, that I have to keep the same energy up for now. But in reality, it's like, no, just do what you can manage. And of course, like I said, whatever I can manage, put the most energy and the most effort into it as possible that I started with, so that way I can finish with it. So like, for example, if I want to go to the gym 2 times, put as much energy as I can into those 2 times workouts. But still go to the gym, still do the things that I want to do, and still be outside and still get the cardio. You know what I'm saying? Like, the worst thing for me to do, I feel like, is for me to not work out, and to not work out, but basically just be stagnant, because this goes for everything in my life, not just working out and stuff. But essentially, like I said, after they're basically, because I say that to say that, like, I had more energy at the point that I was in there. At the point that I met them at the workout, they're already kind of finishing up with the workout. I'm still getting my workout started. So we go up 1 more time, so that's 3 times me going up, 2 times me going down. Like I said, 1 time with the stairs, 1 time with the driveway. The 3rd time me going up, I actually decided to wear the weighted vest that one of the homies that was working out with us actually had on, so that was really dope. I was able to wear it. It was 25 pounds. With wearing it, it allowed me to see that, like, as long as my feet are good and I don't have no weights around my ankles, I could probably do the stairs with a 50-pound vest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could do if anything, it made me want to get a weighted vest, because now I'm like, I kind of want to do stuff with weight on me, so that way when I take the weight off, like, I'm like Rock Lee. It's like everything is lighter. You know what I'm saying? So after I do the 3rd time upstairs with them and with the weighted vest, pretty much said my goodbyes to them. But you know me, the job is not finished. So I did some more push-ups, some more programming, and then I ran down on the jogway, or I guess you could say the trail path, ran down. So essentially I wanted to do 6 times up, 6 times down, but because I already knew I did 3 times up, one with the stairs, one with that driveway, I decided I'm gonna do, so that's 2 times. So I need 4 more times to come back down. I ended up going up 7 times then, right? If that's the case, because after I did the run path one more time, that's down 3 times. No, exactly. So I went up 3, down 3, exactly. So then I went up another 4 time. Then I went down the stairs for the 5th time, for a 4th time. Then I went up a 5th time, and I went down the path for the 5th time. Then I went up for a 6th time, and I went down the path for a 6th time. Either way, I did up and back 4 times, or up and back 3 times, 1 time down the driveway, and then 2 times down the dirt path, and that equaled to 5 miles. Did that in about 1 hour and 30 minutes. After the workout, like I said, your boy, sometimes I get so caught up in the past, you know what I mean? So caught up in the times where I had a girl and stuff, or just women in my life, because women in my life, they definitely, the girls in my life, they're just way more creative than me. I'll just put it like that. I'm creative, but I'm basic, you know what I'm saying? I'm a basic nigga. It's funny, because I was worried that was going to happen, but I didn't know it was going to happen like that fast. Damn. I might need to, it is what it is. But essentially, and that's why I be so confused. I'm like, is it the incense that's making my nasal airways get clogged, or what it is? Because I noticed that happens a lot too. It happened crazy as hell in episode 45. I kept having mucus. But if you guys don't know what Michael's is, it's kind of like an arts and crafts store essentially. So also for graduation, if you guys don't know, you could do what they call designing your caps. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, for all the people that do know this stuff, I'm sorry, but for the people that don't know, it is what it is. I'm explaining like nobody knows. So you design your cap, and as you guys know, my brand STAYDOWNLA, you feel me? I have to get that plastered on it. And then of course, recipes to Latif, aka Dooley, that's his nickname, Dooley's World, because you know this is my nigga Dooley's World. And of course, I have to put my grandma, everybody that pretty much helped me get to this point of graduation, on my Edu, because my last name, you know what I'm saying, I'm very proud of my last name, very proud of my heritage, very proud of where I'm from. If you guys don't know, I'm from Nigeria, duh. You feel me? Because, well, then again, like I said, I be saying that, but I'm like, people see my name and they don't know I'm Nigerian, bro. But I mean, it's not their fault. Kudus is not a Nigerian name. Kudus is a Muslim name, Islamic name. It's in the Quran. But essentially, after I left, after I finished my workout at the Culver City stairs, you know, landscaped, and I was like, you know what, hey, I don't have to, but it would be nice because I did it in my high school graduation, and that was really the main reason I did it. I was like, bro, if you could design your high school graduation cap, you could design your freaking college graduation cap. You know what I'm saying? Especially when, like I said, I know I graduated from Southwest, but I didn't do the commencement at Southwest. So part of me still be kind of torn on that. Like, did I really graduate from Southwest? But now I had to have, like, at this point, it's official. They can't take it back because I graduated from Cal State LA. And for me to graduate from Cal State LA, I had to have transferred from Southwest. So one thing led to another. The paperwork worked out, and I'm clearly allowed to be where I'm allowed to be. So take it up with them. Don't take it up with me. But essentially, went to Michael's. I had a plan, and I just was like, I just hope you guys have the things that I needed. I said I wanted the letters. You feel me? I said I knew I wanted the I wanted some scorpion shit. Didn't have that much of that. I wanted something that I could use to like a Sharpie that I could use to write. Had to get the metallic Sharpie so that way it could show up on the black, you know what I'm saying, cap. Got some random accessories, you know, graduation. Finally, I thought that was so funny because I'm like, is that like a common theme when people graduate? They be like, finally. But I guess maybe I could see it. I guess for me, I took it as, and that's the motherfucking secret word of today. Whoa, that scared the freak out of me. It is 2:46 in the morning. I did not think anybody was gonna be awake right now. But the secret word of today is POV. And what is POV? Point of view. Point of view could also represent perspective, right? So one thing I feel like learn this weekend is perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like how people view things and how people take offense to things is really just their perspective on stuff. So I say that to say that when I seen that finally, I immediately got offended. And I'll tell you why I got offended. Because for me, if you guys know anything about my school journey, I started strong 2018 to 2019. 2019 COVID happened, and I just stopped taking school seriously, and I took a break because I just assumed that, like, well, let me not say assumed, right? At that time when COVID first happened, and maybe I don't know if anybody would remember this or anybody want to admit this, you know. I'm not the most proud to say that I'm even saying this right now, but I'll put it like this. Before COVID, I really genuinely thought, man, I didn't need a degree. I really was like, hey, I think I could make it. And that's what I'm saying. At the time, my mindset was really convinced. I was like, you know what? The way society is, the way the money is going, if I just keep working what I was doing, I was like, nah, I could be good. I don't need to go to school. I was really convinced. I was like, all else fails, I'll just get another job type shit. So when COVID happened and the nigga lost his job for the first time and realized that because I was working at this job for so long, it kind of affected me from getting any other experience, experience from anywhere else. I was like, whoa, hold on. This kind of does put you in a bad position. Like, at least with a degree, that gives you a overarching umbrella of, I guess you could say, experience that you could have that could be applied to everywhere else. Whereas just working a specific job might not give you that experience to be able to work another job. Like with my psychology degree, I might be able to do HR. I might be able to work with kids. I might be able to work with the county. I might be able to work with this. Whereas at the time I was only working at Pizza Rev and Target. Only work with Target might only be able to allow me to work with Target, or the retailers. Working at Saks Fix might only allow me to work with other Saks Fix or other retail stores. And I just knew I wanted more for myself, or at least, cause I'm like, honestly, I fuck with security, but honestly, I think I kept realizing that, like, if you want to move up in these positions, you want to make more money with these stores and these companies, you kind of have to care, and I wasn't caring, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, me moving up with this is probably not going to be as beneficial. But that's later on. At the time, I was really like, okay, cool. I don't need to go to school. I don't need to do that. So when I finally got back to school after COVID, after everything, I'm realizing how important a degree really is and how important it is for my lifestyle in particular. Because like I said, for certain people, you might really not need it. But for me, the lifestyle that I want to live, I had to go to school. I had to get a degree unless I'm going to go rob people and just do illegal shit. I had to go to school and get, like, you know what I'm saying? It just makes the most sense. You know what I mean? So at the time, I'm like, okay, bet. But no, because that's not really. I'm not here to go into the story about why or like how long it took me to go to school. Besides the fact that it did take me a while. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, I had to put the disclaimer on that because at the end of the day, everything is done at this pace and at time it's supposed to be done. So while I'm over here saying it took me longer to finish my school, I finished my school and I finished my courses right on time, and the time that I was meant to be for it to be done and the time that I was meant to be finished with it is perfectly right on time. That's the mature answer. Now that we on some bullshit though, I took way longer than I should have took. I took way longer than I needed to take, and I took way longer than if I was taking it seriously, it would have took me to complete my psychology degree. So when I seen on the motherfucking thing that shit said finally, I got offended. I said, bitch, who you talking about finally? Nigga, I did this shit right at the time I was supposed to do it. But that's when I was like, oh, this is what they be talking about when they say perspective is everything. Because from my point of view, from my perspective, this seems like a negative connotation. This seems like somebody trying to like jab me. But in reality, it's like, no. That's probably what most people that graduate tell themselves. Like, finally, I'm done. Finally, I'm over this. Finally, I can move on. But I said, finally, like, y'all trying to say that, like, finally this nigga finished? No. But it's like, no, Caduce, no. But I just thought that was so interesting because, you know, in the moment, if I didn't catch myself, I could just, like I said, I could just go about my day, just be like, this shit was rude. That shit said finally. But, like, because I was able to catch myself and reassess the situation, I was able to realize that, like, no, that's on me for how I'm perceiving this thing to be. And I'm perceiving it in a negative connotation when it's like, no, it's actually a positive thing. But then after that, I went to Michael's, got the stuff done. After getting the decorations, I went to La Esquina because I was nearby my loaded fries. So if you guys know anything about me, shout out to La Esquina. I love Mexican food and I love carne asada fries. In particular, carne asada fries. Chicken fries are good, but loaded fries that are carne asada just hits different. I don't know why, and it kind of depends on location. Would not lie about that. But essentially went there because the area that I was the Michaels that I went to was near the La Esquina. So after I got the decorations, I went to La Esquina, got my local my load of fries, a pickup order, landscaped on my way to Michael's, and I landscaped on my way home. Then when I got home, I finished the food. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even give no chance for the carne asada fries. Tore them up. After I finished the food, I took a nap. After my nap, I woke up and started to decorate my graduation cap. And as you guys can see, this is the finished product. For the listeners, the finished product pretty much is, just imagine a black cap. On the top left, it says graduation, but that's just an emblem. Then right below it, I have long live all the people that I care about. First, my grannies, my auntie, my other auntie, Latif, Kalila, Elliot. Right under that, I have Kudus, Aditoro Idu, K-Saxapi, basically my name. Then to the right of it, I guess you could say, Stay Down and Lay in big letters with like I said, some bedazzled, or I guess you could say some sparkle letters. I have gray sparkle letters for the Stay Down, red sparkle letters for the LA, red sparkle letters for Dooley's World, and then gray sparkle letters for the world part. And then the rest of it, on top of Stay Down and Lay, on top of Stay Down, I have Omo Edu. Omo means the son of or the child of, and then Edu, my last name. So that translates to the son of Edu's. Pretty much, I am the child of my last name. You know, basically, like that's a phrase in Nigeria. Like, oh, what family you belong to? I belong to Edu. So you're Omo Edu, pretty much. And then I have the rest of it just filled up with like I said, I got a pack of graduation emblems, or I guess you could say decorations. They all had little stickers on them, so I just attached them all around the rest of it. So, like I said, for the viewers, this is what it looks like. I'm pretty proud of it, I'm not gonna lie, especially because I kind of made it up on the fly, and I really like the execution of it, you know what I'm saying? But the issue I then had was I lost my tassel. Fucking around doing too much, bro. That's how you know, that's how I was like, and that's how I was saying in the sense of being so quick to just wanting to have the thing over with. I overlooked so many small details, you know what I'm saying? I was moving so fast, just trying to get it done so quickly. I didn't ensure that I had my tassel, and mind you, it's irritating me because I really spent a couple days really looking for it, bro, to the point where I went through the trash can, bro, because I was really convinced that like I must have threw it away with the garbage of the cap and gown, and I couldn't find it, bro. Couldn't find that shit. But essentially, like I said, I feel like that was a sign that I'm like, yeah, I'm moving too fast. I'm moving too quickly. Like, I should take more time between these things because, for one, I shouldn't be. I mean, I don't think decorating my cap 2 days before my graduation is that big a deal. But in the fashion of being early and on time, I could have got that done the weekend earlier, and it would have probably allowed me to make sure that I had all the pieces that I need to have because clearly I didn't have all the pieces I need to have, because when it came time to do the little thing to move to the left, I wouldn't have been able to do it. And I'm saying I wouldn't have because I didn't stay long enough for that part in reality. So that's how my Saturday went. Then on Sunday, it was supposed to be, according to my schedule, it was a clean the bathroom Sunday, but I didn't. I just feel like it wasn't there yet, but I could have, you know what I'm saying? But after that, I just pretty much just took care of myself, did the laundry, made my TikTok, uploaded my videos from Twitch to YouTube. After that, I got ready and took a shower, cleaned my hair, went to my haircut appointment. So I had a haircut appointment set on Sunday because my graduation was on Monday. The issue here was that I set my appointment for 10 o'clock and I didn't check and I didn't do my due diligence of ensuring that, okay, am I on time for my appointment? Am I late? Am I early? I just seen on my phone something about 11 o'clock and I assumed that was my appointment time. It was funny because just 2 weeks ago I was making fun of, or I wasn't making fun of, but I was teasing my auntie for making the same mistake because she had did the same thing. She had thought her appointment was at 1 o'clock, but her appointment was at 11 o'clock. I thought my appointment was at 11 o'clock, but it was really at 10 o'clock. So, don't laugh at everybody because you never know. You might be in that same position as them. Because literally, the next weekend, I'm in the same fucking position. But, I got to my haircut appointment. Realized that I was there wrong because by the time I got there, I'm chilling. And my barber, he's such a cool nigga. And that's why I feel bad because I'm like, in reality, Loki could have scolded me. Loki could have, held it over my head even more. But, he walks in, he's like, nigga. Literally, he's like, bro, you fucked up. I was like, what you mean? He's like, bro, your appointment was at 10. He's like, bro, I want to get some food. I was like, you know what? You're not been wrong, gang. I'm thinking, though, I'm like, okay, so you can just come here right now, right then? No. He said, bro, I ain't going to get you. Can you come back to 7? I said, 7? 7 p.m.? Ugh. No. And, immediately, all the stress just started coming on me because I was like, bro, I was so prepared for my haircut to be the day before my graduation. If I can't get my haircut before my graduation, I'm going to be fucked up. That's going to fuck up my mental. I'm just, being prepared for everything. But, God being so amazing, like I said, that's why I'm like, I know God is real for me. I can't speak for nobody else, but I know God is real for me because literally, I missed my appointment and God said, look, you seem like you understand the issue and the area ways. We'll give you another appointment because literally, the next appointment that was available was 1 o'clock. So essentially, literally I left the barbershop and I was like, okay, bet my appointment at 1. Let me go do some things that I gotta handle before my appointment. So I've been telling you guys I've been wanting to get some more hobbies, and I'm actually really proud to say that I've actually taken the time to invest in those hobbies this past weekend. Because I went to Big Five. Originally, I just went in there to try to get a pool stick, a pool cue, because you guys might not know because I don't talk about it on here, or haven't had a chance to talk about it on here. But I like billiards. I call it pool, but I guess in America, or I guess out here, they call it billiards. I'm sorry. Like I said, sometimes my American knowledge is not all the way there, so they call it billiards, but I know it's pool and shit. But I like billiards, and I like to think I'm pretty good. And I'm saying that because I'm humble enough to realize that I'm not the best, and I definitely have some more work that I could do or I could be working on. Especially after this last week, because I was just like, I want to be able to play pool. And then big shout out to the homegirl Haley, my old coworker at Target. Because I remember she posted a TikTok of her playing pool by herself. And I was like, bro, why did I could have been doing this shit. I love pool so much that I'm like, oh, I would have. Because sometimes for me, like I said, I told you guys I have amusement park memberships. But I don't be using them as much because I get so subconscious about going by myself. But I'm like, I would never get so conscious about going to play pool by myself. I don't give a fuck what anybody say about playing pool by myself. It's pool, saying billiards. So I was like, okay, that's definitely something that I can start doing. So big shout out to Haley for inspiring that and reminding me that there's other things that I can do solo that nobody would say anything about. Because that's really what the issue was. Sometimes I'll be feeling like there's not many things that I could do solo and that are actually enjoyable. So, because for me, I just really be wanting to landscape for real. If I could landscape at home, I wouldn't landscape in my home. I would just landscape in my car and then just go back in the house, like I always do. But I'm saying, like, if I had the freedom to do it without my parents or my dad in particular not fucking with it, I probably wouldn't go out that much. I would just really just bring the house or the outside to the house, Like I told you guys, when I build my house, I'm probably gonna, man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm probably still gonna be outside because I'm gonna have so much business to handle. But for the most part, as far as like entertainment aspect, the entertainment is gonna be at the crib. You feel me? Saying if I'm going out, it's for business. You know what I'm saying? If I want to have fun, I'm gonna just be at the house. I'm gonna just go to the pool area. I'm gonna just go to my indoor gym. I'm gonna go to my indoor recreational building. You know what I'm saying? My indoor basketball court, indoor tennis. You know what I'm saying? Indoor outdoor tennis field. You know what I'm saying? My indoor track. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have all that shit in the house, in the mansion, so that way when I leave, it's only for business. It's only to make more money. Then I have to go back home and enjoy the money. Enjoy my fruits of my labor. So while at Big Five though, I decided, you know what? Because I got a discount, I had a a coupon code. I said, what else could I do? You know what I'm saying? What else could I be out here doing besides pool? You know what I'm saying? That's also enjoyable. And I've been thinking about pickleball. But the reason I almost didn't get it because I thought, or I guess you could say it is a 2-person sport. But I assumed, I was like, I'm not having nobody to play pickleball with. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, wait, Malik just got out of school, so I know he's gonna be at home for a little while. So if I really ever get bored, I could just say, Malik, let's go play some pickleball. So. Yeah, you guys, it's either the inset or the weather. I'm really convinced though, because like I said, this is I don't really mucus this much. Just, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't sick. I mean, I went to the beach yesterday, so maybe that's my allergies are acting up. But this is the Q stick that I got. The brand is Mizrac Billiards, and it's a premium Q and case combo, and of course I got it in the color black. So this is a premium Q and case combo. It includes a 2-piece 57-inch composite Q, a hard Q case, Q-tips and ferrules, some tip scruffers, and Q chalk. So I feel like this is pretty much the solo billiards player set. That's the best way I could put it, because this is everything you really need besides a repair kit. But I told myself, I said, my shit ever messes up, I'm gonna just take it to a repair person. I'm not that thirsty to have to repair my own, you know what I'm saying, peel stick and stuff. I'm looking at the product right here because look. Oh, so they just added the 5 glue-on tips and the 5 ferrule rules, because as you can see by the product packaging, everything else is laminated, or I guess you could say on it. But that part of the what's included is stickered onto there. So I'm assuming that this package didn't used to always say 5 glue-on tips and 5 ferrule rules, because as you can see, I'm taking off the sticker right now, and it's looking like there's nothing under there. Wow, so that's just nice. You know what I mean? I always like Easter eggs, so that's a nice little Easter egg. You feel me? Yeah, I'm the type of guy that when I'm at the movie theaters and I see there's a little fuck up in the movie theater screen, I acknowledge it. I like to acknowledge fuck ups and shit. Because, sometimes you just got to remind yourself, not everybody's perfect. You feel me? So don't beat yourself up for not being perfect. You feel me? But yes, that is my new Q, and I'm very, very satisfied with my investment and my purchase. And then, as far as basketball, I'm not gonna lie, Big Five definitely had a big, I guess you could say, what is it called? They had a nice range of products when it came to pickleball, because they had pickleballs. They had a pickleball set where it had the pickleball pickles, or the two pickleball rackets and stuff. What do they call it? What is it called? Huh? What is it? They don't. paddles. Duh. So they had sets where it was just 2 paddles and that would be it. And then they had sets where it would just be 1 paddle and that would be it. But one thing that I seen was a common theme or a common, guy there was this guy named Ben Johns. Ben Johns. Which is so funny because, like I said, I don't really know much about pickleball. So, man, it's so funny, right? It's so funny how, like, when you know nothing about something, you could be so ignorant to it. Because when I seen it, I was like, who the fuck is this nigga Ben Johns? Like, it says this nigga is the world's #1 ranked player. And I'm like, bro, I've never heard of this guy. I've never heard of this guy. But, like, one thing about me, like I said, I'm respectful. I'm like, hey, I can do my homework and I can do my research. So, I haven't done it, though, because, like I said, I don't care for pickleball only care for pickleball as a possible hobby, as a possible, thing that I could do. I don't care for it as far as its technicality or, like, its rules, not. But, like, as far as, like, its players, I don't have no interest in that. Only interest I have in it is to be a player myself. So, seeing that, I was like, well, there's got to be a good product, right? Because if the world's #1 ranked player is pretty much endorsing this product, there's got to be a good product. So, I bought a Joola, Joola, ready to play Essentials Dash Pickleball Pack. So that's what it's called. It's called the Essentials Dash Pickleball Pack, and it looks cool as hell. And it comes with a 10 millimeter. I'm guessing 2 paddles. Yeah, 2 pickleball paddles, 4 pickleball balls, 4 pickleballs, and 1 bag. And it has the red and blue. You feel me? For naturally, I was gonna say Spider-Man, but you feel me? I doubt that's why they have it. And then so it looks like it is, and for the packaging, it looks like you could take this type of set, this package, to an actual like championship, because it says USA Pickleball PBC lowercase o uppercase r .43 approved. So pretty much this shit is like, no joke. And then as far as the dimensions of the paddle and stuff, it's 7.9 inches, 20.07 centimeters paddle width, 15.5 inches, 39.37 centimeters paddle length, 7.8 ounces, 221 grams average height, average weight, 4.57 inches, 12.70 centimeters grip length, and then 4 inches, 10.16 centimeters grip circumference. And then it has a asterisk for actual grip size may vary. So that's what the grip size should be at. But I'm guessing these are the the stats or the dimensions that the paddles are and stuff. So the pickleball paddles, those are the dimensions that they are and whatnot. And I'm guessing those are regulated. So, I'm not out here playing with no bullshit. I'm playing with some approved pickleball merchandise. So, maybe I might use it this weekend. Probably not, because of the weekend that I have coming up this weekend. But definitely going to use it in the next week, because like I said, I want to start playing pickleball. I'm not good at tennis. I gotta be good at something. Shit. Dead homies. But so after I purchased that at Big 5, dang, I don't know why my chair is starting to affect my thigh. After I purchased that at Big 5, I've been craving some peanut butter and jelly. I just like having peanut butter on standby, so I told myself, like, I need to go to Target and get it, because peanut butter that I want in particular, they only sell it at Target. Sorry, guys. But I went to Superior because it was close by to the Big 5 that I was at. Didn't get the product that I wanted, but I got a Smucker's or the Goofy Goober grape jelly and peanut butter jelly mixture. I could just show you guys, but the audio listeners, you guys are not gonna get to see it. But the Smucker's Goober grape peanut butter and grape jelly stripes, America's favorite combination peanut butter jelly. So they're not wrong when they say that. They're wrong in the sense of the execution. The issue that I have with this, because I love this, it's just so good to eat by itself. It's not good for practicalness in the sense of, like, when I'm trying to actually use it to apply it to my bread, it doesn't spread very well. Like, you either get more jelly, then you get peanut butter, or you get more peanut butter, then you get jelly, and then it's so perfectly, placed in there that you don't even want to, like, fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always torn by even touching it anyway, because I'm like, damn, what side do I start? Do I just go straight in the middle? Do I go to the right? But pretty much, that shit smells so good. Ended up just getting that because I didn't want to go into Superior and leave with nothing. Superior is one, like, because I tell you guys all the time, if you go to a store or go to a retailer and the security guard looks at you like, oh, you might have stole something, or why you not buying nothing, don't shop there. But when it comes to, like, Superior, you know what I'm saying, like, places like that, I always feel like, it'll be more weird me walking out with nothing, you know what I'm saying? So I always try to leave with something, even though I know I just say all that. When it comes to Superior, I was like, nah, you gotta leave with something, my nigga. So I said, let me leave with this peanut butter and jelly. And I got that. So after that, I ended up going to get my haircut. After my haircut, I went to Total Wine. After I went to Total Wine, I went to Target. After I went to Target, because I just had to get some, like, last minute things from Target. So I was like, what did I end up getting? Not mistaken, it wasn't nothing too crazy. And I think I also went there because, like I said, I was trying to see, oh, do they have the peanut butter? They still didn't have the peanut butter. But like I said, I'm going to different Targets. So in reality, the Target I used to get it from was my old job's one. So naturally, I'm not going to go there. But I'm like, I just keep assuming that I could just get it at other Targets. I keep being proven I can't. Because, like I said, after I went to Target, I ended up not finding it. But went to Stormburger. Got me some Stormburger. At Stormburger, I landscaped again. After I landscaped, I headed home, took a shower, ate my food, fall asleep, waking up, and I just ended up being on the PlayStation party with the homies and putting away some things that I bought from Target. So now on Monday, normally it's usually the weekend that we turned up for, but Monday was the day that I was really, like, ready to be turned up for because essentially woke up. I couldn't even wait for it to be graduation time because I'm already up at like 6, 7 in the morning, but like I'm just so anxious. And mind you, my graduation isn't until 5 p.m. 5 p.m. and I'm up at like 8 o'clock already ready for it. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up just being on my phone, stalling for a bit. But after I did my morning routine of my prayer, brush my teeth, journal, I didn't make a TikTok on my graduation day, and looking back in hindsight, that might be one thing that I will say I would have redid because I thought that I was going to be able to have enough energy, and like I was telling you guys earlier, I thought I was going to have enough energy to want to make a thoughtful TikTok later on in the day. But now that I went through that and I realized now, I'm putting two and two together, I was so exhausted from the whole day that a TikTok was the last thing that I would have any energy or any passion to want to create. Now that I know, I recognize what that issue is now. I understand it now. Because like I said the day itself was going to be the TikTok. So I went to Rogers with the homies for an upper body workout. Landscape on the way to IHOP because I told myself, I said, you know what? You deserve it. You used to go to IHOP very often, but you have been going to IHOP for a while. So, what other reason would you have to go besides, you know what I'm saying? You celebrating your graduation. Go get you some breakfast. So, I went to IHOP, did a pickup order for some sirloin tips and eggs, medium, and I did it with eggs over hard. No mushrooms. I always see you guys my orders so that way you guys can order my shit too in case you guys want to try it. And then after which I headed home to eat and pick out my outfit for graduation. After selecting my outfit, which was, do y'all really care about the outfit? Yeah, I don't really care about the outfit, but it's not one fly. I was looking pretty nice. I had a really good outfit on. But after picking my outfit and getting myself together, I took what I thought was going to be a longer nap, but it only ended up being like 20-30 minute nap because I just was so torn over what I was going to wear. So I already was like, pretty much you had to be out the house, relatively speaking, you want to be on time, 3:30. But by the time I got to the house, it was like 1 something already. So either way, unless I had gotten into bed at the top of 2 o'clock, I was already going to have less than an hour to take a nap. But me being hopeful, I really thought I could still make it work and shit, basically. So, essentially, after I got my fit and I got everything together, I was like, fuck it. I'm still going to try to take this nap. But, my auntie and uncle got there. So, after they got there, I kind of knew. I was like, well, if they're here and we're all going to my graduation together and they see me sleeping, they're probably not going to take it that seriously. So, let me get my ass up and start getting dressed. So, after I seen my auntie and uncle here, I was like, let me get up, get dressed, get ready for the night. And that's what my fit, I guess that's why picking my outfit was difficult, because I'm like, I know I'm not just going to the graduation, and even in regards to going to the graduation, they're not going to see the fit anyway. So, this fit is really for after the graduation. So, that's what my focus was on, because like I said, we're going to go get some Korean barbecue after. So, after I dressed up, it was a whole bunch of complications, because pretty much I ended up getting ready on time, but I'll put it like this: my family, they didn't start getting ready till like 3:30 for real, because my dad was like the first one ready, but essentially Mashud, Malik, and my mom, they pretty much, well, not really Mashud, because Mashud went to work, and Mashud, like I said, is a guy, not really, but my mom, she didn't really get ready till like 3, 4 something, like closer to 4. So I'm like, damn, like, we are kind of pushing it, but like I said, I'm not really tripping, because for me, I'm doing this more so for my family and more so like for the memory. But like, I know at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm not going to really feel this till I get the degree in my hand and it says I have a bachelor's, you know what I'm saying? So this is all for show right now. This is all just extras. That's how I look at it, you know what I'm saying? The real celebration is when I get that fucking degree, my nigga, dead homies. So, after I got ready, I decided I'm still going to get lit, you know what I'm saying? I'm still going to pregame before my graduation. Duh. I ended up heading to the liquor store to buy some landscaping products, came home, and I pretty much got myself ready for the graduation. And it's so funny because literally, that's what I'm saying, God is so good, because literally I was on the way out, literally went to the liquor store, and then my little brother was like, hey, do you want your cap? Like, you don't want your cap? I was like, imagine, y'all, the shit that I spent all Saturday, not all Saturday, but the thing that I spent Saturday evening trying to design, that I went to Michael's going crazy trying to get the right decorations for. Imagine to do all that and then not take it. God is so good. So I came back home, which ended up giving me my cap. Ended up pretty much we all took our own cars. My parents rode together. Mashud and Malik rode together. I rode by myself because I landscape. Made it to the graduation. It was at USC. It was at the Shrine. Bro, I'm talking about we're late as fuck. And because I don't want to diss Cal City LA by saying this, but I guess I anticipated it to be way more strict than it actually was. And this is, like I said, I'm saying this in hindsight. I'm not saying this because I feel like they did anything wrong. I'm actually appreciative that it went like this, because Cal City LA only allowed us to have 7 tickets. So we are 7 deep. Just me and we're 8 deep. But my auntie, she had to go pick up my cousin, so we're 9 deep now. So I'm worried because I'm like, hey, y'all, I've been seeing all week, everybody's been in the group me, everybody's been in the chats, everybody's been everything that I'm in. They've been going out their way, or not going out the way, but they've been going above and beyond to try to get some tickets. Like, everybody's been trying to get some extra tickets. So I'm like, fuck. I didn't put no work in to get extra tickets because I was like, for one, that's doing too much. And 2, I didn't feel like paying nobody. Like, I know that if I only allowed 7, and if somebody wants to get one of my tickets, unless I have extra to give, I'm going to low-key tax you. You know, and that's what I started seeing students do. And I was like, man, to tax somebody for something that you got for free is crazy. To tax somebody to tax somebody for something that you got for free is crazy. But to tax somebody something that you got for free that they literally tell you guys to not resell, it's even crazier. Because in my opinion, I feel like the school is like, I know there's going to be niggas that want more tickets. Don't sell it to each other. If you want to give it to somebody, give it to them. But don't sell it. Like, I feel like the school is like, we're not trying to sell these shits. Like, we give them to y'all. We're not trying to make these a product, you know? But I was seeing people sell them shit for like $15. In my head, I was like, even that's too much for me. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Because my family is worth way more than that. But like, if somebody was to try it, she'd be like, oh, like, hey, Caduce, I got an extra ticket, $15, and I know you got it for free. I'm not gonna be that inclined to pay for it, you know? But, you know, it is what it is. But essentially, we had enough tickets for the original group, but when my cousin came, I was worried because I'm like, I didn't get an extra ticket or nothing. So, like, I really don't want us to be turned away or have no issue when we get to this door. You know what I'm saying? But my dad, I don't know how this nigga do it, bro. Well, I don't want to say, I don't know how he keep doing it because in reality, this was Mashud. So this was a big W for Mashud. So shout out to my family. But big shout out to Mashud because my dad was so convinced. He was like, Caduce, don't worry, bro. He's like, I got this. We're going to get there. I'm going to work my magic. And I'm like, Dad, this is digital QR code tickets. I don't know what type of magic you think will work, but okay. Just don't say I didn't tell you. You know, that's what I was trying to let him know. Like, don't say I didn't tell you. You feel me? So, after that, I get there and I get to the parking lot. I see it's a $35 parking fee. I'm like, oh, damn. I hope everybody don't have to pay this. Man, but my thing was I was just going to pay it at the end, you know, type shit. I end up parking. My little brother shows up a little bit after me. Mashud is me. That's what I'm saying. I'm the prototype. Mashud is a version 1. My league is version 2. Or version 1.5. However you want to say it. But pretty much, they improved. So everything that I am good at, Mashud is 2 times better. Everything that Mashud is 2 times better at, Malik is 3 times better at. Because essentially, I'm responsible. But I like to, you know, test myself out. So whereas I would take a little more chances, Mashud is not the type to take chances. So for me, I risk it a little more in the sense of like, I know for a fact that when I seen the $35 parking and the lady, I asked her, I said, how do I pay for it? She said, you got to pay by phone. So I already know the process. I already know what I got to do. I still want to see what's going to happen type shit. You know, like I walk out, what it going to do? Mashud did the same thing I did. Heard the price, and he, the responsible one, he's like, oh, $35? Paid it immediately. I have to use the restroom, so I'll be right back. Let's mute it. Oh, man. Sorry, guys. Had to go do a number 2. But, yes. Now we're back to where we was at. But nah, essentially, once I made it to the graduation, I parked and I went into the graduation. Oh no. What happened? Oh. Whew. I got scared because it gave me a thing. It gave me a exclamation point. But nah, I was just saying how like the difference between me and Mashud. Mashud is the type to go pay first and I'm the type to pay later because essentially once I got into the graduation, it was I'm actually really glad I came out with my gown and everything because literally once I came with the gown, it was like, oh, if you're a graduate, go that way. If you're a regular person, go this way. And they basically made us go all the way around. Had to go through an alley, and then we ended up going inside. Didn't even have to scan my stage pass. But I guess that's because it's like, God forbid, 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 God forbid. I think it was just more so like, there shouldn't be no weirdos pulling up to the graduation. There shouldn't be nobody that's not here being here. But, yeah, because, I ain't gonna lie. They didn't ask me for my proof that I was who I was before I ended up going there and basically confirmed who I was. But, like I said, it just works out because, like I said, I had no malintent. But, you know me, as an overthinker, I think to myself, what if somebody was a weirdo? And what if somebody that was weirdo went in there and did some weird shit? Like, how would niggas have known? Because they didn't check my stage pass. Sorry, just my brain. But essentially, we get in there, sit down there. Pretty much, they start the program pretty quickly. I'm not gonna lie, but I can't give you a genuine gauge of how long the thing was because, like I said, unlike back in high school, unlike maybe even elementary and shit, where you have to be forced to sit through the whole process, I let my family know from the start. I said the moment they say my name, we're leaving. The moment they say my name, we could leave. Looking back, I kind of wish I would have stayed, but because, like I said, I knew I wanted to go out after. I was like, there's no point in us staying in whole 3 hours here, you know what I'm saying, type shit. So I said, hey, once they get to the process, so what the process was, we went in there, go through security, make sure we go through security. And the only reason I said, I'm like, it wasn't too crazy because, like I said, I had my whole fly-ass fit on. They could have, you know what I'm saying, they could have been hella extra and said, hey, take everything off, we need to check it out. But it was like, nah, you're a graduate. You're probably not going to be here to do anything crazy, right? They let me go through. And I told them I should have. Yeah, it's just my belt and shit. So after I made it through, I go to another area where is a table, and they basically give me a QR sticker that they were basically, and I like that process because I was like, how are they going to say my name on the thing? Like, essentially, you go to a table, they have everybody's name and their thing being read out loud on a QR code that you attach to your phone, and you check in. So you go there, you say, hey, my name's Caduce. They be like, okay, Caduce, here's a sticker, put it on the back of your phone, you scanned it, and then you don't scan it then, but you get in line for your row, pretty much, because so essentially, it didn't matter what row you was in, your thing was going to be able to be set the right place. So I got to the area of the natural sciences, psychology area. They bring us to our row, we sit down. I'm not talking to nobody. Y'all know me. I don't talk to nobody at school, so why would I talk to anybody at graduation? Essentially, wait for them. They bring out all the faculty, the president, some guy that looks like he kind of should be in the Hunger Games. And that was funny because he gives the first speech, then the president gives a speech, then Billie Jean King gives a speech, and then the white guy gives a speech again. He was like, man, I kind of thought I was done. I didn't think I was going to have to come back up here. And everybody was laughing, but I thought it was kind of awkward. I was like, why did he make that joke? I don't know. It just seemed unnecessary. Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe it was funny to some people. To me, it was like, you don't want to be here? What the fuck? Whatever. So essentially, so that was good. So then, basically, like I said, they start calling up the rows. So we go up there. They scan my QR code. They say my name. I walk to the middle, take a picture. Then I take a picture with the president. I get my... Oh, yeah, that too. Because that's what I'm saying. That also matters. I get my diploma holder. As you guys can see. California State University, Los Angeles. Oh, my God. I'm so proud of myself, bro. California State University, Los Angeles. As you guys can see. This certificate commemorates the commencement exercises of California State University, Los Angeles. Participation in this ceremony signifies the formal ending of one important period of your life and the beginning of another. We congratulate you on this achievement, and we hope that you feel a well-deserved sense of pride, accomplishment, and joy. You will receive your diploma by mail after official certification that you have successfully completed all degree requirements. Veronica Johnson Ains, President. And as far as certifying that I successfully completed all degree requirements, I checked this morning and I checked my advisement report. All of my everything, all the things that would drop down have been closed up. They need to be expanded, essentially saying that all the requirements have been satisfied. You know what I mean? So as of today, 5/20/22, 2026, I'm pretty sure I've completed all of my degree requirements to allow me to be able to proudly be able to say I am a bachelor's degree owner in psychology. Now we just have to wait for the official delivery of my actual diploma. So I'm very excited. I'm very proud. And pretty much like I said, once they put this in my hand, I didn't need anything else from Cal State LA. I was pretty much satisfied. And I think that's the one thing that, like I said, if I go back to school and do again, I'd be way more involved, way more social. Like I said, I definitely will say, remember, I don't know, well, when I say remember, I told you guys, I always be thinking of stuff that I said in other episodes. But when I realize the episode I'm on, I gotta remember. Y'all might not know type shit. So, for those that might not know, there was one time I took a trip, and the trip was a very important trip to me, in my opinion. I feel like it was a trip that let me know that I was going to be a good content creator and I was going to make content. But essentially, in the trip, I was alone. I didn't have no friends. I wasn't fucking with nobody. And I don't know. And I was, I guess, achieving that. But I was going through it with ego. And when I lost my ex-best friend, not lost her, like, she passed away. But when me and her, like, fell out, we no longer were cool. And I could say probably like, nah, that was really my best friend, because even when I told my mom the last time, like last week's episode, I was like, oh mom, remember my ex-bestie? She was like, oh, Adria? Like, that lets me know, like, okay, yeah, so like, you definitely, were someone that was noticed, or was very someone, you were someone of importance, After me and her fell out, it kind of let me know, like, maybe it made me reconsider that maybe I'm too ego driven. Maybe I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because with her, that was a time where I was like, me and her, like I said, we politic a lot. So, we kind of would politic, or not to speak on her experiences, but we pretty much kind of agreed that, like, we were in our positions because we kind of give people too many chances. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was, like, our agreement. So, for me, I was like, man, being that I lost her, and I'm like, how the person that I thought I was the most aligned with ended up falling out with me. It made me really reconsider, like, maybe the mindset that I had wasn't the right one. Maybe I was going around thinking I knew everything, and clearly I don't know everything. Clearly, I'm not the best friend to have type shit. So I was like, nah, I gotta be better. But essentially, it let me think to myself that, like, I kind of want to be cooler with people instead of being so, what you call it? So what is it called? Fuck, man. I guess instead of give people more chances instead of being so clean cut, like, oh, you get one chance and you're done type shit, because that's what I end up doing. Because like I said, being at that graduation, being not that I was talking to people, I was like, like I said, I know for a fact that the fact that I wasn't having a whole bunch of friends around me, I wasn't a whole bunch of, like, the reason I was able to leave the graduation and not feel like, oh damn, is there anything else I need to do? Is there anybody else I need to talk to? Because I didn't really talk to nobody. So, like, it was never like I was going to be like, oh, hey, y'all, can't wait to see you guys at the graduation. There was nobody I needed to see at the graduation type shit. So, I'm like, in hindsight, one thing that I would do if I could go back in time and change, I would probably be a little more social. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't make everybody my best friend, because, like I said, that's one thing I know how to do now. I know how to just be friends with people. Like, not everybody needs to be my brothers. Not everybody needs to be my homegirls. Not everybody needs to be my acquaintances. Not everybody needs to be my bestie. I have the certain categories that people could fall in, and I'm allowing them to just be in that category, and that be it. I'm not trying to move them into more categories. I'm not trying to upgrade. I'm not trying to give you guys more. I'm not trying to give nobody promotions. However I'm meeting y'all, and if you guys want to meet me at another level, you're going to show that. But it's to the point where, like I said, I'm like, I keep having these, I guess you could say, these regrets, or these wants to have a do-over, because I keep feeling like I keep over extending myself. So I'm not doing that no more. So that's what I'm saying. Instead of me being so cold-hearted, instead of me being so, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. So rather than being cold-hearted and rather than being super open, I'll just be myself, and then just, like I said, meet people when they meet me, and still treat people how I want to be treated. But like I said, just for what I'm talking about right now, instead of like how it went, I definitely could see myself. Like I said, if I could do a do over there, I probably would have been more social at school. But I'm not regretting anything, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I kind of liked the idea of being able to, you know what I'm saying, like being the fly on the wall that had a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? Like that aspect is pretty cool, That's why for me, I'm like, the more that I do, the less I want to tell people, Like I said, I just be wanting to come on here and talk about it. I don't be wanting to, like, bro, I'm telling you, so many times so many shit I be wanting to tweet, so many shit I want to be wanting to say, but I'm like, nah. they're not gonna respect it right here. Take it to the podcast where they're forced to respect it. You feel me? But essentially, after I got my diploma, which, as you guys can see, it's not really my diploma, it's a fake diploma for now. After I got that, I essentially told them, hey, can I go to the restroom real quick? Like, when it was time for us to go back to our seat. And they didn't say anything. They didn't give like, oh, you gotta come back or anything. I was like, oh, wow, we really are adults. Because it literally, once they said, oh, yeah, you go to the restroom, nigga, I walked to the restroom, went to the restroom, seeing everybody there, people saying congratulations to me, people saying, saying bye. I went back through the area where we came in. Nobody said anything to me. I said, oh, hey y'all, family, mom, dad, Mashud, Malik, everybody, let's go. And they all pretty much met me outside, and then we took a whole bunch of pictures. My dad started giving me some money, started spraying me. So that's, if you follow me on Instagram, that's how those pictures came to be. And then after the ceremony, we took the pictures. After the pictures, we went to quarters. So I didn't know what. A week prior, I was on Instagram. I was like, which Korean barbecue spot should I go to? Didn't ultimately know which one I was going to go to, but I just decided to go to quarters because it was the most nearest one and the best rated one that was in the area. Essentially, pretty much, yeah. I go landscape, get myself ready because, I'm going to do some Korean barbecue. But my family, they start heading out over there, so they pretty much get there early, set an appointment, get us a spot, let's get a reservation. So we get there, pretty much get 2 orders of the beef combo or whatever, because it was 9 of us at the table, 1 combo per table. They didn't really like the bulgogi, and I felt bad because I love the bulgogi. But all the other meat, they fucked with, they enjoyed it. Our total came out to about $390. My pops paid for it, so shout out to my dad because, like I said, the older I get and the more shit I'll be like, man, that's what I'm like I said, I need to go to school because the ability to pay that bill and not feel no type of way is a blessing. It's such a blessing. But essentially after that, pretty much went to get myself a shot at the bar. Then I drove home, I landscaped and I drove my ass home, you feel me? Came home and I basically was just like done for, So this is Monday. So Monday starting off like this was definitely a problem because, like I said, I didn't make my TikTok. I had a Disneyland reservation that I forgot to cancel. So I'm just so focused. I'm so in the moment on Monday that I'm like, I forgot I was a content creator damn near, So I'm like, fuck. I woke up on Tuesday like, we got to get right to the schedule. And it was definitely a lot. And it also was coincidental because not only did I have a freaking appointment for Disneyland on that Tuesday, but I also had to get an appointment for a live scan and a TB test because the new job that I'm essentially gearing up to accept and start requires me to do a set-in task for the onboarding task. And one of the tasks is live scan and TB test. So being so productive, I already had set my appointment earlier in the month, but being so in the moment, I forgot how close my appointment was. So when I woke up on that Tuesday, I seen that my appointment was that Tuesday, and I seen that I still had the option to reschedule it or go to it. And I was like, damn, if I reschedule it, that's gonna make it harder. In my opinion, I feel like it's gonna be cutting closer to the job start date that I don't want to risk, fucking up my ability to start on the start date. So I was like, nah, let's keep the appointment for what it is, and then we just make it work. Because like I said, part of me was like, bro, I woke up and I was just feeling so shitty. I was feeling so guilty because every day I want to post a TikTok every day, so that way I could say that I posted 365 TikToks, 365 days in a row. Sometimes though, I come into these issues where, like I said, I come into a day where I might have been more active than I anticipated, and I didn't get it on a TikTok early, so by the time it got later to get on it, I just lost all energy to want to do it, so I don't end up making it. So to make up for it, I always make two TikToks the next day, but I just always feel guilty because I'm like, that's technically a day that I didn't post, you feel me? So that's just always how I take it. But essentially, like I said, after berating myself about it, I pretty much woke up and was done for Monday. So after getting myself together, had the appointment, and then woke up around 1 hour from the appointment. So because of that, I know I was going to have to catch up. I tried to reschedule it, but I was like, nah, don't do that. So I just got ready, went to Hawthorne, South Bay, and I had dressed up for Disneyland because, like I said, in my head, I'm like, I have a Disneyland appointment or a Disneyland reservation. It's not going to make sense for me to go to this doctor's appointment and then come home and then, like, don't go to the appointment, then come back home, change, and then go to Disneyland. If I'm out, I might as well just stay out and the appointment area was closer to Disneyland than it was closer to my house. So I was like, bro, I don't know, I feel like going back. So I decided to just get dressed up for Disney. But like I said, I'm out of it. So in reality, I should just postpone the Disney day. But Disneyland has it to where if you don't cancel by 11 p.m. the night before, it becomes a no call, no show. Essentially, you lose a reservation, and you become if you do it 3 times, you get in trouble or whatever. So I've already done one in the past couple months, and pretty much, like I said, I just feeling guilty about it. So part of me was like, it felt like I had an obligation, or like I owed it to Disney. Like, you know what, I told myself I was gonna go, or I put it in here that I was gonna go to y'all shit, so I gotta go. So after I got my appointment done, basically, big shout out to the Wellness Mart. Is this place, like I said, where you could go get like TB tests. It's like a doctor, but like for people that don't have insurance, I guess, I don't know. That's a terrible description of the area. But essentially, you could do shit that you go to the doctor. You could just do walk-ins there too. But essentially, after I did my appointment, I got my TB test done. I did my live scan where they scan on my fingers. After I did that, I was like, oh shit, that was pretty fast. So I went outside, immediately started making my TikTok. So I made a TikTok recap of my graduation. Then I did a TikTok workout video, posted them both at the same time, shared them to all my platforms. And then after I did that, I did my affirmations. And like I said, I do my affirmations every morning, every day, generally. If I don't do it in the morning, I do it whenever I get a chance to. But essentially, I read my affirmations. And then after I do my affirmations, I have a journal where I do the 3-6-7 method, 3-6-9 method, whereas you write something 3 times, write something 6 times, write something 9 times, and then you say it 9 times. And then I've been doing that. Like I said, I just feel like it allows me to just believe and allows me to manifest easier. So pretty much that's why, like I said, when I'm feeling bad, it's because I'm like, I want to be on this every day. So when I'm feeling bad about not doing it, it's because I feel like if I get too lit, it affects my ability to be consistent, and to maintain that, thing that I've been doing. So essentially, I just don't like doing that. But then I always, like I said, like I told you guys in the couple episodes back, it's never as bad as you think. It is never as good as you think. So I'm thinking it's going to be such a freaking issue to make these videos. It's going to be so hard. It's going to be this. But it's never as bad as I think, because the moment I started making those videos, I made them pretty easy. Made the 2 TikToks, and all the guilt, all the shame that I felt for not uploading on my graduation day literally left. Literally. So then after that, I ain't going to lie. Did my journal, TikTok done. And I started heading to Disneyland, but like I said, I should have just took the loss, because I knew I didn't really have it in my heart to go, especially because, like I said, I just went recently with Tiani. I knew I really didn't really care to go, but I was like, you know what? I didn't go to California Adventure Park. Just go to California Adventure Park. But like I said, I was already looking at the time, looking at the drive, looking at the wait times. I said, yeah, this is gonna be a lot. And like I said, I knew my heart wasn't in it to be there all day, so I was like, you probably shouldn't go, but my brain was like, nah, you gotta go. You set the reservation. You gotta celebrate the graduation. You deserve it, type shit. That's what I convinced myself. But it's like, bro, I'm a chill guy. So I should have just went home. Because literally halfway there, I stopped, and this was a point where I should have turned back, but I said, fuck it. I made it there, and I wasted $30 on parking because I got there and I turned into the area and I couldn't turn around, but I was like, fuck it, let me just go through. Thinking, I was like, maybe the thing that I told her was true. So maybe I'm really convinced. I was like, it was $27 that one day, it's going to be $27 today. Disney really did raise the price, because I came again and it was $30. But like I said, it's grad season, so it might be just because of that. I'm going to try again. We're going to try again. But wasted on $30 of parking. And I say I wasted it because once I made it to the park, I went to California Adventure and I went to the Monsters Inc. ride. Normally, I just do the single rider because it's easier and, I'm by myself. They told me that it was a 10-minute wait for the single rider. And I was like, all right, yeah. That's strike one. Strike one was really the parking. Strike two. So then I look and I'm like, okay, well, let me see these other rides. Then I seen the wait time for Guardians. I seen the weather and I was like, you know what? And I ain't gonna lie, I was lit. I was freaking turned. I was off the Hennessy. That boy was off the Hennessy. So I'm like, man, I don't really think I want to be here right now. Like, this is the happiest place on earth, but I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm pretty satisfied. You know what I'm saying, without being here right now. So essentially, literally went to Monsters Inc. Got turned away, and not necessarily turned away, but was told I gotta wait, and I left. I kid you not, I left. I went back to my car. I didn't want to pay for the skip the line because I knew, and that's what it was. I would have did the skip the line, but all the reservations, I was there at, let's say, like 1 o'clock. The ones for the rides that I wanted wasn't till like 20 o'clock. 20 o'clock. Oh damn. All the rides and stuff that I would have wanted to go to wasn't till 3 o'clock, and it was like one something. I'm like, I'm gonna have to wait 2 hours, just fuck no. So I checked the app. I didn't want to pay for the line because I know they were gonna be later in the day. So I decided to head back to the car and then head home. Not before stopping at some Chinese food spot on the old block, and then I made it home. After which I made some cookies and I ate my Chinese food. Took a fire ass nap. Woke up and got ready to play some billiards because it was just so early in the day that it was like, even with the nap that I took, I still had a good amount of night left. And I was like, you know what? You did buy some new hobbies. You know what I'm saying? Put them to the use. So I knew it was too late to go freaking do some motherfucking do some motherfucking pickleball. I was like, no, this is the perfect time to go do some billiards. So I looked up a couple spots. I actually had already did some prior research on it because I don't know, something just told me like, do some homework before you just go to a random billiard spot and be disappointed. So I had already did my homework, and it turns out billiards is actually, it's kind of expensive if you be there for a long time. But I guess that's my issue for thinking that you would want to be at billiards for like 3 hours or something. It's kind of like with bowling. Like, I assumed that people would want to bowl for like 3-4 hours, but in reality, 1 or 2 hours of bowling, 2 straight hours of bowling is good enough. And I feel the same way with billiards. 1.5 hours is a good enough time for me to just straight play pool, because essentially I found this place called LD Billiards. Please do not pull up on me, y'all. Please do not make this a place that I can't go to no more. For real. But found this place called LD Billiards. They had the best, top rated too, by the way. And then, because there was another one, Gardena, that I used to pass a lot. It's funny. It's kind of like what Young Thug said. Once you start seeing the Lamborghini, you see a Lamborghini everywhere. Once I seen the billiards places, like, I started remembering all the billiards places that I seen everywhere. But I know I used to always see this billiards place in, in Gardena, because my ex, she used to go to this boba place, and the boba place was right next to the billiards place. So I used to always tell myself, man, if I'm ever bored, we should come here and play some billiards and shit. But that's the only reason I know about that billiards area. And in particular, it's so funny because I referenced it because when I checked the possible areas I could have went to go play some billiards, when I looked at that one in particular, they said the owner is racist. They said that they have a lot of issues with that location because they go through, pay the billers for like an hour or two, and then they'll pay first, but then whenever they leave, the owner would basically harass them, asking them for payments. I'm like, yeah, I ain't finna deal with that. And like, as a black guy, I'm definitely not dealing with that shit, bro. You're not finna, you know what I'm saying? I pay for my shit, so you're not finna tell me I didn't pay. There was a time where I wasn't paying for shit. It was like 2 times. But that was the only time, okay? So leave me the fuck alone. But essentially, after I seen that, I was like, okay, definitely not gonna go there. And then I started seeing the prices, and it looked like the average price for billiards an hour is like $15 an hour. Makes sense. So once I seen that this one place had 20, I was like, okay, let me go for areas of 15. LD Billiards had $15 hours, so I pulled up over there. I should have knew when I was going to downtown LA, it was going to be in the lot of like I guess you could say a business lot where a lot of other businesses are also operating, because as soon as I get there, it's a line to get into the parking lot, and the line to get into the parking lot has you going through a valet. And I was like, bro, I am not trying to pay no valet to play some billiards. Like, I don't even want to pay the $15 to pay the fucking billiards. But the last thing I want to do is pay $15 plus whatever valet fee you guys have. And like I said, a lot of my agents have just been just having my back. One thing I will say, so I will be honest. Since I graduated, I've been happier. I'm a little less stressed out. You know what I mean? I'm a little more relieved. You know what I'm saying? Like, I laugh a little harder now. Like, when I laugh now, like, if I see something funny, I don't care what nobody thinks. I laugh at it. You know what I'm saying? If I find something cool, I don't care what nobody thinks. I think it's cool. I don't know. Maybe, I guess, subconsciously, getting the degree kind of gave me, like, a little, what you call it? It gave me, like, a rank. You know what I'm saying? It's like I up my rank now. So now I feel a little more proud, and I guess a little more confident in my decision making and my execution of certain things. Because now I'm like, okay, well, you know, like, y'all know me. I already feel like I'm being intelligent. I always feel like I'm smart. But now it's like, now I know I'm book smart. I've been street smart. Now I'm like, I'm getting the Holy Trinity now. Like, you feel me? Like, so now, exactly what that's supposed to do. Like I said, and I guess, yeah, since the graduation, I've been more in the moment. You know what I'm saying? I'm like less worried about tomorrow. I'm less stressed. Like, even as far as, and I'm gonna be so completely 1,000. I'm be so 1,000. Even as far as this new job that I have about to start, I've been just in a pace of peace to where I'm like, if I don't end up starting this one, because before I graduated, right, when I was working at Saxoff Fit, I was so stressed out about what am I gonna do after Saxoff Fit that if I could have seen myself now, I probably wouldn't even took the job in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. Because I was just so worried that, like, I wouldn't be able to operate or be able to manage myself without a job. Which in reality is true, because without having a job, I ain't gonna lie, like, my discipline level has went down, because with the job, you know, you got to be up at a certain time. 5 times out the week, you're at a location. Because I've been able to be at the house 7 days a week, 24/7, whenever I want, I've definitely got a little more relaxed. So in a sense, it's kind of like, comme ci, comme ça. It's some good, it's some bad, you know? But I say that to say that the graduation, now that that's over with, I've been, like I said, I'm at another sense of relaxation. So now I'm like, I guess that's what it is. It's like confirmation, you know what I'm saying? Like, now I know I can achieve this thing. You know what I'm saying? Now I know I can achieve anything I put my mind to. Now I know that, like, I'm capable. You know what I mean? That's what I guess you could say. Like, I know now that I'm capable. I know that I now know that I'm capable of whatever I put my mind to, you know? And it just feels good. So I guess with that, I guess I have less need to want to perform, you know what I'm saying? I guess you could say. Like, I'm not feeling as performative anymore, because I'm like, you know what, fuck that. What do I need to perform for? This right here tells me everything I need to know. This tells me everything I need to care about. This right here tells everybody that doesn't know me what they need to know about me. This guy doesn't play. This guy is smart. This guy's, and I guess that's really what it is. It's like, yeah. And, bro, nigga, the amount of love, nigga, what, dead homies? I never got this many likes on a fucking post. I never got this many comments on a fucking post, nigga. My graduation picture has 380 likes, 256 comments, 25 reposts, bitch, 56 shares, nigga. Stop fucking playing with that boy. View the insights, nigga. This post has 8,814 views. I reached 3,948 accounts. I got 90 profile visits. I got 9 follows, bro. I got 9 follows, boy. Yeah. That's so hard, bruh. Oh, that's so interesting. So it even tells you what the, I mean, I don't know why. Oh yeah, they so 243 people liked the first picture. They was really fucking with the graduation picture. Then they liked the money spread. The 17 like the, yeah, 20 people liked the, yeah. Then of course people got behind. They liked the Kalila one. I don't know why nobody liked the Dooley one. That was weird. They liked the Dooley and his mom. Yeah. That's so hard. That's so dope. And then the audience. Yeah. And then, like I said, y'all, your boy's just been at a different place, because keep it being with y'all. The last time me and E-Man went to Six Flags, I remember I was just talking about my exes and shit, and I told him, I was like, you know what, I would get back with my ex. And it's so funny because, you know, life, like I said, life is life. it is what it is. You live once, shit, YOLO. I told you guys, I said I'm single. I've been single for the last 2 years, and a big part of that, like I said, I just haven't found anybody that really aligns with me. But there was, someone that, like I said, one of my exes I feel like really did align with me, right? And I remember I was telling my nigga email, I was like, you know what, I would get back with her, bro. Like, dead homies, like, I really still, part of me still cares about her, you know what I'm saying? And looking back at how it went, I just be like, it could have went better, you know what I'm saying? Especially with, like, seeing how my life turned out, I'm like, I'm not really that much different, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just had to, like, lock in to figure it out. So, all the things that I was kind of, like, putting on the relationship saying that I couldn't have achieved, I could have achieved it had I just been more focused, So it made me just look back like, damn, like, all the issues and all the things that I was, like, put onto her was really just internally that I just had to, and like I said, and also, me being young, me being, at a sexual height of my career, I guess you could say, just wanted to just try different pussies, you know what I'm saying, just go out there and just see what other girls I could fuck with and shit, so pretty much I said that to say that I had a good girl, and we probably really could have had something strong, but being young, not really seeing what I had in front of me, not really appreciating it, I let it go. So I ain't gonna lie, I was off the liquor, I was fucking faded on my fucking graduation, and I don't know if I did it on the graduation, but I know for sure it had to be after graduation or the day prior. But either way, I seen my ex's, she had a page, I guess, That's let me not sit here and like let me not try to sound cool in the story, and then we say how it was. Just being on my Instagram, just doing my thing. Instagram be showing you the page that you could possibly follow. So I seen her page and it only had 2 posts, and I was like, it's just like a weird page, spam page, whatever. Bio simple, something you found me, and I was like, you know what? I know, I don't give a fuck. But that's I guess that's what I'm saying is I don't care. I'm at a stage where I'm like, I really don't care because it is what it is. It is what it is. And that's what I'm gonna say at the end. So essentially, like I said, no followers, no nothing, and I confirmed. I was like, okay, this is my ex's page, and I was like, you know what? I'm finna graduate. Fuck it. I followed it, thinking she was gonna follow me back, thinking she wasn't gonna follow me back. I really don't know. I honestly speaking, I just feel like I put her through so much, so I just assumed that she hates me. But it really, what I kind of came to a conclusion of, is just time has passed and feelings have left. People grow. People change. Mindsets change. Like, I think that's one thing I had to get over, or like had to, and that's why I'm glad I did this, because it kind of forces me to accept that fate and accept that fact and that truth of like, sometimes I'll be sitting here thinking, what if, me and this person didn't work out, but what if we reconnect? Is it going to work out now? Or we're going to be cool? Is she going to fuck with me now that she sees me in a different place? You know what I'm saying? Is she going to see that I'm more mature? But what if also in that same coin, what if the opposite? What if what happened and it just is what it is? What if that person will never have feelings for you again? And it's not an issue. It's not really about whether that being a big deal or whether that being a problem. It's just like that's just how time went. And that's just how the story goes, you know what I'm saying? So getting used to that and like going through these processes of like forcing myself to not overthink but actually execute, I kind of like that, because like I said, honestly, a big part of me would be way more mad at myself if I go around knowing that I had feelings for her or knowing that I still care about her and never say anything and never knowing what could be, than for me to do what I did, which was, like I said, follow it, wait, see who's going to follow back, which she didn't, and then, just see what's going to happen, because essentially, on the graduation day, I turned my page back public, because something just told me, I was like, if she was going to follow it back, she probably got to, she got to be able to see her page, you know what I'm saying, too, so I decided, I was like, let me make my page public, so that way she could see, so I made my page public, and she watched my story on my graduation day, and she said congrats, and I was so fucking lit, bro. I was so fucking lit. I swear to God, I was so fucking lit, bro. Because I literally was telling myself, I said, bro, because normally I always assume, I told you guys, I assumed the worst, but then I told myself, I said, Caduce, it's never as bad as you think. So I just been like, telling myself it's going to go good. It's going to go good. So literally, when she said the congratulations, my cortisol went up. My dopamine went up, because I was like, yes, I knew it. Like, I was convinced. I was like, okay, so there is hope. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Hey, I'm here to say I don't think there's any hope, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And honestly, I feel a little better. And I think that's why now I could proudly talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And I could say it without no cringe or anything like that. Because I'm like, you know what? At least I did what would make me happy. And I did I did what I felt was right. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't do nothing that I felt was right, but society would look at as wrong type shit. Like, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with, like, getting with the person that you really feel you have the most compatible with, you know what I'm saying? Even if that is an ex, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been seeing other people get back with partners that they probably would never get back with, you know, Nelly and Ashanti, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know why I assumed that I can't do that, or that I was trying to tell myself that, like, you know, spinning back, you know, spin the block, that's a no-no. And I think spin the block is a no-no for people that, like I said, if it's like something super toxic, I feel like, yeah, you should leave it alone. But me and this one in particular, me and this ex in particular, it was a toxic. If anything, I was a toxic one, you know, and it was toxic. But like I said, it wasn't like on some shit where it's like, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like there's nothing that we couldn't have amended from, you know. But essentially, I say that to say that, like, yeah, she told me congrats, and I said thank you so much for this message. And I ain't gonna lie, like I said, this part was cringy. I basically was like, yeah, like, hey, I miss you, and you already know what it is with me. You got my number, you got my information. If you wanna pick it back where we left off, just let me know. And essentially, she didn't reply at first. She kind of liked the message and was typing. As a stalker, I know I'm a Scorpio. I checked. She didn't like it. She didn't say anything at first. She was just typing, and then she stopped typing. So I assumed, I was like, you know what? Being so drunk, I was like, you know what I could do? That was probably a lot, nigga. Like, chill the fuck out. And so I kind of tried to apologize. I was like, my apologies for being too forward. And essentially, she was like, nah, he wasn't too forward. And then was pretty much like, oh yeah, just tell your family I said hi. And then that was that. So my Scorpio brain wanted to think immediately, like, well, what I was saying, my Scorpio brain and my real brain, they kind of thought the same thing. But my Scorpio brain wanted to think that, like, oh, I guess wanted to think of it in a negative way. That, like, oh, like, she's not fucking with me. But, like I said, like I was saying earlier, I think when I started thinking realistically, I was like, you know, it's been a couple years, bro. Like, she's probably grew up. She's probably been through what she's been through. There's no, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much, like, the same spot in your heart that you have for her might not be the same for her. So I just kind of was like, you know, that might just be what it was. And it might not be no bad blood. There's no issue, you know? And honestly speaking, like I said, I thought I would feel more awkward, or I'd feel more bad, or I'd feel like, oh, man, you know, she didn't return the feelings or return that energy that I wanted her to return. And I thought I was gonna feel more hurt about it. Honestly speaking, I'm pretty okay. I'm pretty okay. In the sense of, like, is that what I wanted? No. Would I have preferred? Of course. But I'm able to accept it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like I said, now, honestly, maybe it's because, you know, maybe as a Scorpio and I'm a little narcissistic in that sense. But part of me felt like the reason it was stagnant was because she didn't know. Now I feel like because she knows, there's hope. You feel me? And I feel like there's a good chance, you know. I don't know. Like I said, as a Scorpio, you know, as a hopeless romantic, you want to hope for the best. You feel me? And like I said, after just what I feel like, just because in reality, like I told you guys, I'm ready to retire. I'm ready to just get out the game. But I'm like, you know what? It's not that you're ready to retire the game. It's more so like I feel like I fucked up somewhere, and I wish I could go back to it and, like, pick up where I left off. Because I feel like everywhere else in my life, I'm picking up there. Like with the school, I picked that back up. So I'm like, man, all this stuff that I thought was going bad is like, it could have went well. Now that I know how to handle it, let me try to go handle it. And like I said, you know, like I said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I took that shot, and I'm very happy that I did. You feel me? Because like I said, I don't know. I feel much more satisfied that I did and shit. And now I feel like I could go ahead with my life with a little more confidence. You feel me? So yeah. But I just had to get that out the way because I was like, you know what? I feel bad if I don't be honest with my audience. Like, nah, like that was something that I felt like was very it was a very pivotal moment in my week. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I hit up my ex like that. Well, I didn't hit her up. I followed her, and she replied to my story, and then I text her saying that I'm down to fuck with you if you down to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm down to get back at you, because I'm like, we can't just get back together. I probably gotta get to know her again. You feel me and shit. So, but nah, I told her I'm down. I'm down. If she's down, I'm down for sure. Like I said, I just feel like more mature, and I would, boy, what man? I'll shoot that girl so good now. Especially because, like I said, like I'm not someone that's like now that I know how to appreciate a good thing when I have it, I realize I didn't appreciate that when I had it for sure. Especially because, like I said, they're the homies, and I'm just leave it at that. So I'm gonna go back to being secretive. That was the only super duper revealing thing y'all gonna get about me. But it's good because, like I said, now I could be a little more relaxed. You know, like I said, now that I've done that, I'm like, it is what it is. Because, like I said, it allowed me to be honest with myself. Like, that's who you want. You feel me? It is what it is. Be that. Let that be who you want. And none of these girls, you know what I'm saying, reach that caliber. It is what it is. Then type shit. But nah, I pretty much was, like I said, made it to the billiards. God blessed me again with another parking spot across the way. Parked there. Went to go play an hour and 30 minutes of it. $15 plus $5, I'm guessing. Was good for me. Can't complain. Paid my $20. Only had to wait there for like 20 minutes to, like, let's say 15 minutes, because when I got there, there was definitely a line, which I didn't know this many people really be playing billiards like that. So that was cool. There's definitely a community for it. Played the billiards, did my thing, left, landscaped after, but I ain't gonna lie, I shouldn't have did it. I was just so thirsty. Sometimes when I be in my mode, I just be like, you know what, gotta just, especially when I have days like that where I'm like, I do everything that I had planned, you know what I'm saying? I like to reward myself, you feel me, type shit. So I ended up just going home after the landscape and I just fell asleep. So on Wednesday, it was upper body day, so I just woke up, was being a little lazy after getting my journal done and getting dressed. Head out for upper body workout with the homies. Made it to the wrong place because the place that we normally go to is closed right now. So I had to go to the right location after making it. Went to the workout, did my warm up. After the workout, I landscaped. I made a leg day TikTok. I headed home, ate some cookie cereal, and I made some breakfast of some chicken tenders, fries, and eggs with some stew. Fire. After that, I ate some cereal. That's what I needed. That's what I need to start doing. Anytime I eat something, and it's by nature. Anytime I eat something fat or like savory, I need to eat something sweet. But I need to chill out because anytime I do that, it fucks up my sleep schedule, or it fucks up how I sleep, I guess you could say. But after that, I took like a 2-hour nap. After a nap, I woke up to what, and that's why I'm saying I feel like it fucks up my naps because I wake up and I be feeling groggy. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it makes me want to go in and out of sleep. But after I finished, after I really got up, I went to go landscape, and I got some gas from my car. Then I came home and I played some Fortnite, you know what I'm saying, till like 12, and I went to sleep. And then yesterday, because like I said, today is technically Friday, pretty much woke up on me, make sure the trash was in the right area. And the only reason I didn't wake up yesterday and make the podcast like I'm doing right now is because I was playing the game, so that was my fault. I actually had the podcast topic list, everything was on point. I just needed to record, but I didn't wake up with enough energy, so I ended up sleeping in. Woke up at 7, put the trash because it was trash day. Did my affirmations, did my journal, did my TikTok. I made my TikTok before the workout today. Got that on point. Brushed my teeth, and then like at 8:30, headed out to the workout area. Cause today was a bike ride with the homies. You know what I'm saying? Like, right, 2 weeks in a row. These niggas have definitely been subverting my expectations. They've been making me so proud. Big shout out to Hunter. Big shout out to Drew. Shout out to K5. Shout out to my nigga Day, and shout out to Faith in particular today, because that was a group with us today. We had a pretty big group today. I ain't gonna lie, because it was 6 of us today. Like, imagine last week was just 3 of us. This week 6 of us. 3 more people already added to the group. So biker gang is really getting real, and that's the only reason I'm like, dang. Looking back, if I knew what I knew now, I probably wouldn't have like told this job I was gonna work with them, because in reality, I low-key just want to get something that's going to pay the bills right now. Like, because how I'm looking at it, I'm going to keep going back to school. I'm going to keep doing my thing. And I kind of, like I said, I kind of want to enjoy my time. So I'm like, before I get into a job where I have to be focused and I can't have time to be with my peoples, I kind of want to enjoy my time with my peoples. So, in reality, I'm gonna do the right thing. I'm gonna work this job in my career, and I'm gonna work my way up, and I'm gonna get this money. But man could dream. You feel me? That's I'm like, this is gonna be a really good summer. It's gonna be a really good summer because after this, I'm probably gonna be locked in for the rest of my fucking life, which is not a problem. I think it's just because, like I said, like unlike these streamers, because like I said, I don't mind working a 9 to 5. I just like to have a good time too. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to be able to hang out with my homies, as well. And the thing that sucks about being responsible, one thing gotta give, bro. You can't have a whole bunch of fun and then still be responsible. You gotta literally be responsible first, then have the fun, or have the fun first, then be responsible. For me, is a ladder. I can't do the fun, then be responsible. Actually, I can. That's a lie. But I prefer doing the responsible than the fun. So that's why for me is like I don't mind working. I just wish I could. I just want to work a job that allows me to still be able to go to the gym with the homies and still be able to ride my bike. And I don't know what jobs don't allow that unless I work overnight. And then if I worked overnight, then I'd be too tired to work out with them in person. You know what I mean? So it's like nothing's perfect, especially in life. Nothing's perfect. You got to take what you have and make the best of it and make it perfect for you. So that's what I'm going to do, But that's what I've been at. That's what I've been literally been torn because I'm like, I'm going to miss having all this time hanging out with the homies. And it's not even hanging out. We're literally not even hanging out. We're literally going to the gym. We're literally going to the beach riding my bikes. But, like, I'm going to just miss that moment, Because, like I said, I've been working out by myself all year, And that's what, like I said, I think it... And that's what probably ended up making me realize that, like, I could be to myself. I don't need to be social. But, like, I could, you know what I mean? It was because... Once I got into my focusness, I was just there, But that's what also made me realize that, like, I could be out the way and not have an issue with it, Because I'm like, sometimes I be thinking, like, dang, like, that FOMO. But I'm like, bro, you're not the only nigga that don't be pulling up to every plot, nigga. Like, everybody has their own lives. Everybody has everything that they got going on. Do what you got going on, Type shit. But that's why I feel like ends up making me think, and that's why I feel like I end up, like, noticing how single I am because I be so... Like, when I'm by myself, I'm by myself, you know what I'm saying? But when I'm with the homies, I'm distracted, I'm able to get my mind off of that. I'm not thinking about girls, you know what I'm saying? I am. Don't get it twisted, because these niggas, if I tell you about the homies, you guys would even know. You think I'm good, just know they're better, you feel me? Type shit, because none of my homies are bad. But essentially, we went to the beach, and we went to go rent the bikes. After we rent the bikes, did the same path. Our total was 20 miles today. After that, like I said, I had enough energy. I was good. I was really good. So I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens during my naps or what, but I literally was good on the workout. I had enough, and I don't know, maybe it's because, like I said, I knew what to expect, know what to expect. But essentially, I was energized. I made sure not to eat in a break. I made sure I got my food after the workout. You know what I'm saying? Because after the workout, I went to Captain Corey's. I got myself a Philly cheesesteak breakfast burrito, landscaped, and then I went to go check the results of my TB test. So after I did that, I went home. I'm happy. I'm good. I'm like, okay, bet. After I get home, I eat my burrito. I made some cookies, and then pretty much I took a nap. But like, when I was trying to wake up from the nap, I was just so like sluggish. But then again, I think it's the sugar. I think just having too much sugar in your system is not good for sleep. It's not good for sleep. I'm really starting to, and maybe like I said for you guys, let me not say for you guys like but I'm saying like you learn your body. I've been learning my body like I told you guys last time. I don't think I can eat McDonald's burgers anymore. I could probably eat their chicken nuggets and everything, and maybe a quarter pounder. But as far as the McDonald's like a cheeseburger, it's not it no more. It's not it no more. It's too processed. I'll put it like that. Like I love triple cheeseburgers, bro. But essentially, I'm saying that to say that like I'm learning my body, and like these past couple days is particular because like I said, I be having time. Like for me, it's like bro, I don't got no job. I don't got nothing going on for myself right now. I don't got no girlfriend. I don't got nothing going on right now. I just go to the gym and then come home. Why am I asleep half my day? You know what I mean? Especially when I was working and I was up and about. I was up. I couldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, the most I was doing is maybe take a nap on my lunch break. But I was still being up. And I would be tired, but I would, you know what I'm saying? But now I've been like, now that I've been taking my naps, I'll be thinking, okay, I can take the nap and wake up and be cool. I'll take that nap and I be wanting to still be in bed. I do not be wanting to wake up. Like, I'll take that nap and I'll really generally not want to wake up again. Like, that sounded crazy. I'll take the nap and I'll feel so tired. That's what I should say. I'll be feeling tired, like, oh, I need to get more sleep. But then my body knows me better than I know myself, because my body be like, you want to go to sleep? Okay, try. And I'll try and I just can't. So then I get up and I realize that, oh, okay, I could be up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's really what it is. That too, because that is how, what I'm saying right now is how I used to get myself up for the gym at 4 a.m. I never wanted to wake up at 4 a.m. But the thing was, I would force myself to just physically be up to where I wouldn't be able to, get out of it, essentially. So yeah. But yeah, so that's cool. So everything, like I said, just learning how to take a nap again properly, so that way I can take proper naps. And then, like I said, just cutting back on the amount of sugar that I'm taking into my system. I think those are definitely playing a part. But because essentially, like I said, I came home, took that nap, and I was convinced. So I was like, okay, cool, take this nap, wake up, record the podcast. If I still have enough time, go see the movie. Boy, I woke up and I did not have no energy to record the podcast. Then I seen the time and I was like, okay, well, you will still see a movie. And I just didn't feel like going to go to do that either. So pretty much, man, another wasted, and let me not say another wasted day, but another day where had I, like I said, nobody knows what could happen, but had I probably forced myself up early in the morning at that 4 a.m. like I normally would do when I had school and I had all the other shit, and I told myself, record the podcast right now, I probably would have for sure been able to come home after the workout, take the nap I need to take, as long as I need to take it, and then still be able to go see that movie. Because when I think of this podcast, it's like I said, I told you guys, I need at least 3 hours. In the middle of today's episode, I have to go use the restroom. You never know what happens. But then, yeah, that's literally what happened. Like, literally, once I came home, it was done for. I had all this other stuff that I wanted to go do. I wanted to go see Passenger. I want to go see Boosters. I want to go see other movie. But I didn't see none of those. I'm not planning to leave the house, or I'm not planning to go do nothing when I didn't even check the times. Like, sometimes when I kind of want to force myself to do something, I will look at the times, like, I'll see the AMC times, movie times, I'll say, is this doable? Is this possible to make it? And if it's possible to make it, I force myself up. But I didn't even check it. That's how I know I was like, yeah, I'm not even going to, like, trick myself to go see the movie. So, essentially, that's how my Thursday went. And that right there, boys and gals, men and women, is my weekly recap. Like I said, really the focus was the graduation, and your boys graduated and shit. And like I said, I hit on my ex-girlfriend, basically told her, confess my love and my feelings for her, and she pretty much told me, that's good, bro, good to know. And that's why, like I said, my psychology brain, that's why, like I said, I was like, bro, we're not gonna do that here. I'm not gonna be that cringy. This is not what this podcast is for, y'all know that. But honestly speaking, guys, because like I said, I want to definitely keep the routine and keep it structured and keep it more professional. So I'm not gonna go too crazy today. We're gonna keep it to just the weekly recap. Like I said, the media has just been really Chud the Builder and Drake topics, and which, like I said, I kind of already went into last week, so I don't want to sit here and beat a dead horse, over that, because really like I said, this Chud Builder thing has really just been bringing my awareness to everybody else. Like, okay, this is how you niggas really be thinking too. Like, Sneeko, he's been disappointing the hell out of me. Like, I'm telling you, like, situations like this, I always feel like you always end up seeing how people really feel about black people when black people are oppressed. Because it was always like they always tell black people get over it, but it's always weird to me. But and of course, like I said, I did say the movie I was gonna talk about today was Is God Is, but just after further considering, I don't really enjoy that movie, and like I said, there's some really good actors in that movie, and it just seems like the last thing we need to be doing, or the last thing I need to be doing, is to be bashing anything black women owned, black created, anything black right now. I don't need to be dissing it. So I didn't like that movie, and my mom always told me, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. I'm very looking forward to the movies that I'm going to go see this weekend, so I'm very hopeful for those movies. So that right there, I know I'm going to have a lot to talk about for next week's episode. But as far as this week's episode, I feel like as far as just discussing my graduation, discussing how my week went, and discussing what I'm working on and looking forward to from henceforth, I feel like that's enough. That's some good enough content right there, Especially because, like I said, at the end of the day, this podcast is really about me and what I got going on. So there's gonna be some weeks where, like I said, we talk about what society got going on, but there's gonna be some weeks where we are more and more. That's what it is. I'm not good with W's. There's gonna be some weeks where we are more worried about Caduce, and this one of those weeks. So it's like a little break between the episodes. So if anything, like I said, that's some other shit I gotta worry about. But yes, I'm not gonna keep you guys any longer. It's your boy K Saxa P, man. Good morning, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Make sure you guys are educating you guys yourselves. Make sure you guys are keeping being safe, eating good, and staying blessed, staying covered, staying black, and of course loving black women and believing women. Believe all women. Believe all women. I don't give a fuck. And it's your boy K Saxa P. This has been episode 46 of the STAYDOWNLA podcast. Thank you guys to those that have been supporting me and that have been staying down with me on this process and this progress to the graduation. I'm so blessed and so grateful to have made it. I want to say thank you guys, and I couldn't have done it without y'all. It's your boy K Saxa P, and I'll see you on the next episode. I am out. Peace.